Shall we play a game?
Hello, how are we doing? I had to just check to see if this was actually public, but it just looks like YouTube's analytics things are broken, because yes, it is public, and it does look like there's some viewers. So hello to you. Hello, Andy and C. Do you get new trains with this route? Yes, you do. All right, first up. Actually, I'm going to record this because I always make an intro video and I haven't had time because it's been horrific. Not the route. Just saying. Hey, Gav. Alrighty, so I will record from now and we will go. Alrighty, we're going to have a look at the new Crewe Preston route, or is it Preston Crewe, from Just Trains. But anyway, let's start with Training Centre and see what you get. So just excuse the delay while this loads. Real soon now. Woohoo! Okay. Alrighty, so there is a new Class 20 training. So the BR Blue head code box, it also shows up as the RF as well. And there are two trainings for this. There's an introduction, which I have to say is a really good one. It actually covers cold start, turning on safety systems, the works. So yeah, magic. And slow speed controller and coal unloading introduction. This one is also very good. So kudos to Just Trains for putting these in. You guys know that I do like to occasionally make fun of Just Trains and go, they can't get anything wrong. Well, in this case, they've not really got anything wrong. 47.3, there is a introduction, which is quite a good one, and the slow speed controller and coal loading. I have actually played this one. I didn't play it all the way through because I didn't want to spend half an hour loading coal, but it is also a very, very good tutorial. So I'm really, really happy with the tutorials. All right, let's pop back out and look at journeys next. So to the trains, rail journeys, not that one. We want the other one. Crewe to Milton Keynes, no, not that one. That one, Crewe Preston, that's the one we want. And journey-wise, there are 4. So Tricks of the Trade is the start. It has lots of stuff in it. And it's got your training, and it's got some more training. I didn't actually do the training for these ones, but they come from another route. They don't actually come from this one. And yeah, that's all your training, basically. And then we have Rite of Passage, which has quite a few services and 3 scenarios in it. So we'll get to the scenarios in a moment. They do look quite interesting. I have not had time to really play this at all. I had time to make my tutorials. It's been a very hectic week, and we only got the keys earlier. A couple of days ago. We didn't get them like we usually do. The next journey is 2 scenarios and a bunch of services again. Would you be at all surprised? Mostly it's Cole's stuff, which is nice. And then we get, we just did Fueled Up, didn't we? Did we just do Fueled Up? We just did Fueled Up. Yes, that's the one we did. Okay, Grand Day Out. We have got a bunch more services, but no more scenarios. Few long ones, few short ones, few middling ones. Kind of good mix. Okay, let's go and have a look at the scenarios that you get now with the route. And I've got to choose the right one again. It's hiding from me again. Preston. We've got too many Prestons and too many Crews now. What's going on? We have 5 scenarios that come with the route. A rake of MGR or merry-go-round HAA wagons, and deliver them to Fiddler's Ferry Power Station to keep the country energized. So you'll be loading and unloading. Out with a bang! The 86-4s have been experiencing issues with their traction performance. Will you make it to Crewe without any problems? I'll give you a hint. No. Thunderbirds are go! Overhead line issues has resulted in diesel locos being deployed. Perform Thunderbird duties by dragging electric trains through the affected section. I do like the concept of the name Thunderbird. I think that's cute. Locomotive on test. 86426 has returned from maintenance. You've been asked to take it out in a test run to ensure everything works as expected. Given it's 2 hours long, I'm guessing it's there and back. Deep coal. The cold weather means households are using more coal than normal. Deliver coal to Skeffington Coal Concentration Yard to allow residents to heat up their homes. I wonder how many people actually used coal to heat their homes in the 80s. Interesting concept. All right, services and layers now. And then we'll actually get into some stuff. Now, I might do some passengers today, but I kind of think I'm going to concentrate on the freight because I think most of the other ambassadors will probably hit the passenger stuff really well. Layers-wise, 60. There's a lot. We have Freightliner from Preston Carlisle, Speedlink and West Cornwall Local from West Coast Main Line, Preston Carlisle. West Cornwall Local gives you, I think there's sea cows for coal duty. Liverpool Intercity comes from West Coast Main Line, Preston Carlisle. Lots of stuff from Preston Carlisle. Liverpool Cross Country, Liverpool Diesel, so they're all locals. Another one from Preston Carlisle. The HEAs and TEAs, so they come from Blackpool and Ormskirk. We've got some more from Blackpool and Ormskirk. We've got more from Preston Carlisle. There's plenty. What other routes is it going to need? There's quite a lot. The Chatmos Loco. So this is good that the locos that just sit around doing nothing can actually get turned off. You can make them go away if you're having performance issues. Then we have the Sea Cow from West Cornwall Local. And there's a bunch of other stuff that's coming from all over the place, and it's more static stock that you can kill. Welsh Marches DMU, also from Preston Carlisle, so that'll be Pacers. Doesn't look like anything's brought in a 101, which would be fun. We don't know, probably would have been 107s or 108s in this time frame, but you know, the 101s were fun. We've got a bunch of those coming from Spirit of Steam. Oops, sorry for jumping there. And more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. Peak Forest, there's another one. May, June rail tours, that's at least a hint when they're on. We have the Nuclear from Cargo Line Nuclear. We have more rail tours in August, September. Steam Tour Walgate, Spirit of Steam. More rail tours in March and April. November, December rail tours, no shortage of rail tours. Turbo Sea Cow Statics. PTA statics, so there's more statics that you can turn off. Again, if you're having performance issues on your hardware, you can get rid of all this static stuff. It's in your hands. Alrighty, we will select all, confirm. And the locos that come with it, the 47/3 in BR Blue, and it's blue and rail freight grey, and it's from this route. There's a BR Blue, and it comes as BR Blue with head codes, discs, or rail freight grey with head code, box, or discs. You can add lights as well. You can choose, so disc or X disc. You can choose which one you want. So the other things all come from. Does the 86 too? No, it's the other 86 that comes from this one. There is an 86 that comes with this one, I think. Or am I getting that wrong? What's that one? 86.4. There we go. 86.4 from Crewe Preston, and look at that, we've got 5 million of them again, where you can choose the different livery varieties that you'd like. Interestingly, one of the ambassadors posted this massive discussion about why are there so many? It's because you can have different liveries and you can choose whatever you want. It makes people happy. This one looks like a Volkswagen Splitty. But anyway, that's okay. So we might come back and have a look at that one, but I'm going to start with a Class 20, and I'm going to go with a X-Disc version. I haven't run this one before. And let's find a loading or an unloading one. That's going back to the colliery. That's the one I ran before. Fiddler's Ferry to Bickershaw. I want one that we're going to unload stuff. That's what I'm trying to find. Fiddler's Ferry. That'd be a part 2. Drive this loaded coal tails to Latchford Sidings. That's no good. We want to go Latchford Sidings to Latchford Sidings. No. Not time I have to play the same one. And we unload the train. Fantastic. We got one. Okay. Let's get rid of dynamic weather because it's shit. Light clouds. Let's go. And I'll stop recording so I can greet people. Hello, Andy, C, Gav, Flying Southerner, Andy Ladd, Danny Sprint, Holy Trucker, Gav again, Andy Ladd, more Gav, and more Danny Sprint. So does Preston Carlisle have layers from Crewe Preston? I believe so after the patch. Yes, I believe so. It didn't when I got it initially. All right, we want to flick the change ends lever and put the master key in. Let's test the fire alarm. Sorry. Hello, Mark B. I'm just being an idiot. You can put your seat up and down. Wee, woo, wee, woo. Don't want it up too far, though. Now, there is one little defect. There is no way to turn on DSD, but there's DSD buttons. Anyway, you could do it with a keyboard. Shift Enter. There we go. Done. Well, I haven't found it. Maybe there is a way, but I haven't found it. Now, the other trick of the trade with this looks like it's in forward, right? It's not. It's in off. Off is at the other end of the dial on a class 20 from one side to the other. So you look on this side, off is down there. So that could be disconcerting for people, but it is actually correct. Having driven one of these beasts, it's quite right that it is that way. Alrighty, let's get into forward. And how about some instrument lights, perhaps? Instrument lights, we might some markers? Want some markers? Why not? How about a top marker? Let's just do top markers. I don't know what they mean anyway. They work? They're red. Well, one's white. Okay. We don't want red ones. That's boring. Let's try these. There we go. They're all white. Now, here's an interesting thing for you. When I do 2, it takes me to the back of the train, whereas I think it should cycle between front and back, but it always goes to the back first. 3, same, goes to the back of the train when you first press it, but I think it should start at the front. But anyway, that's fine. Are we ready to go? Do you want to hear this thing? Let's do the brake on. Let's release the train brake and just let that do its thing. We've got a fault light. Wow. I wonder what that means. Oh, I know what it means. It means my throttle is in full power when we went into forward. That would clearly be my fault. That's because my strange little TSCX thing had the lever flopped over. That's okay. Are we ready? Do you want to see this thing? Do you want to hear it? Is it loud enough? Kat says CJ says hello. Hello, CJ. Hello to Andy. Before we move, though, do you know there's a different horn at each end? Isn't that weird? Right. Let's get out of here. Prepare for Greta's. Might as well get it over with now.
How dare you?
Yep. We do have a green up ahead there. You've got to be careful, there's stopboards on this route. It'll move eventually. It's probably still releasing the brakes down the back. It's quite a long train. Look at that smoke. I had to come back up here because I'm going to have bad things happen soon if I don't. But how does that sound? You happy? We have the green on the left up there. The amount of static stock sitting around either not running or smoking scares me for consoles, because people won't think I should turn some layers off. They'll just think, why does it catch fire? That does worry me a little bit. Let me go through the rest of it. Flying Southerner morning, how's it going? Plus 90 patch is finally out. It is indeed. That's why I dumped my video, because I never got a straight answer of whether I could record it or not. So I did and waited. Andy says, hope you're doing well today. I hope your event worked well and didn't cause death by PowerPoint. It was actually quite good. It was a Salesforce event. They're actually always quite good. They know how to do shit. They really do. There's Arpley Junction, which is one of the boxes you can go inside. Let me just put that to off, which you should never do. It's got a little fire going. Uncle Joe's mint balls. There's a pie. That'll be a collectible, I assume. And stuff. It's good to see levers actually pulled. I'd like to see it be real with the signals. Now, I deliberately slowed down because we're about to go down a fairly steep hill and I didn't want to go over speed, so I throttled off. I shouldn't have actually gone to off, though. I should have gone to on and sat there, but that's okay. Can you do the run that goes through the haunted tunnel? Is there one? Find me the run. Tom and Benedict's rail tours. Oh yeah, there's no shortage. And there's good ones too. They actually go through the colliery and things. It's actually quite interesting. I haven't played any of them yet, but I did have a look through the services. I had a bit of a sticky beak because I've only had this for a couple of days and I just haven't had time to touch it much. Andy says, for many northern towns and mining communities, coal heating was deeply ingrained well into the 80s. Retired miners and industry workers were entitled to concessionary coal, making it highly affordable. There actually is a bloke in Emerald that, as we pass his house, if you've got a really big lump that you don't want to put in a firebox, you kick it out the door for him. He loves it. He's really happy about it. Now, since the back of that train is now pushing us over the edge... Actually, there was one thing I didn't change. I'll do it in a moment. I'm not going to try and do it while we're going. Alright, that's got us back under control. Now that we're not actually braking, let's change that to goods mode. So we get away from the gentle braking. Gav says, Harry was happy for joy. Danny Sprint says, does Preston Carlisle have layers from Crewe Preston? Yes, I believe so. After the patch, yes. Gav said, Tom's bell might be in the cupboard. Southerner says, I'm giving the dispatcher thing on Medway and go in a minute once the game is updated. It'll probably take you 3 hours, but that's okay. I like the theory of the dispatcher thing. It's not as exciting as it could be, but it's a bit of fun. It's a different way to do stuff. My gut feel, and I don't think it's going to turn up as a TSW7 thing. I know a lot of people are saying that, but I don't think so because it doesn't actually carry across countries at all. It's only the UK do it, and our really big stations have people like dispatchers, but mostly they just stand around in orange vests and act like, you know, people in orange vests doing nothing. Occasionally they might blow a whistle or something if someone goes beyond the yellow line. Here comes the counterpart empty train. They don't honk back, unfortunately. Wish they did. So this is what you'll see with the merry-go-round, is an empty coming out at the same time a loaded's going in. But they do go via the sidings. There's a bit of a stockpile of them. It is a large update, 16 gig indeed, and this route's 13.5. Sighing Sutton says 30 gig for you. Yep. Andy said, sounds awesome. I'm very happy with the 20s. I'm really happy with the 20s. I'm unhappy you can't turn on DSD, but apart from that, I'm happy. They behave like locomotives. They're cool. Not happy with the stutters I'm still getting, but you know, it is Train Sim World. Gav says, bad things will happen if Paul saw red. Yes, it might have been an emergency brake, and bugger. It's a little while before we get to the stop board, so we'll just maintain our speed. Holy Trucker says, today I learnt the Just Train guy is the guy who Train Sim TV YouTube channel. Really? You only just noticed that? Okay. And Deepdale Branch goes through the haunted tunnel. Okay, we'll have to go find it. CJ says, great job. Thank you, CJ. And thank you, Kat. V for Vitty says, hi, hello, Paul and chat, how are you? I am well, thank you, mate. I've been up since 5 this morning, but that's okay. I'll survive. Holy Trucker says, Deepdale has Tintin 57 as graffiti on the wall. Indeed it does. He is actually in the game. The Just Train guys do like him quite a lot. They chat a lot. They've been chatting for years. Be good to have that kind of relationship with a developer. I kind of do with the New Zealand Train Workshop people. But they won't do TSW. They only do TSC. Andy Burbridge says, later do an 86-4 freight service. If it's a double-headed one, you might spawn with an 87 as a second loco. You can, yes. Let's just try and keep our speed up so this doesn't take forever. Gav says, blame Charlie from Firefly. Firefly are useful people. Andy says, I thought it was Blackpool Branches that was getting the extra layers. Blackpool Branches does have layers, yes, but there are layers in Carlisle too, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but we'll have a look. But I think so. I think I saw some. We may have to check on that. Now, the distance counter would be a little bit weird in this because we have to go all the way around the big loop. So it seems to get further away at one point. Oop, too fast. Bring it down a little bit. I haven't actually seen Tom's stream, sadly. I did see most of Tintin's, and I saw a little bit of the Dovetail one. Holy Trucker says, are the new 20s from this route and 47 laying on to Blackpool? I think so. Blackpool and Carlisle, I think. But don't take Carlisle's gospel because Andy Ladd's put a doubt in my mind. Well, you've put a doubt in my mind, so we'll have a look. Then we'll know for sure. I could be wrong. It can be the first time. It's just not that unusual, really. It's only unusual if my wife's around, because then I'm never wrong. And don't tell her I said that, Kat. I can see the steam coming out of the cooling towers up there. You can't see it as much because of the clouds, but it's definitely happening. And it's quite voluminous as well. Which I should put the frame counter on, shouldn't I? Look at that. Smack on 60, which is where I have it locked. I lock my frames for streaming. Oh, we can go faster. Let's do that. Let's go full bananas. That there is an Xbox frying smoke cloud. Beautiful. My tutorials should have just gone live, so they should be there. Animal TVI, hello to you. What did you think of the Class 90 now? Holy Trucker says, why does Trains, ballast and grass look so much nicer than what Dovetail use? Why can't it all look like this? I wish someone made a mod for ballast for all routes. Just Trains do the ballast slightly differently. That's probably why. So Just Trains don't use the system that DTG use that dynamically puts ballast on top of the sleepers. And I think even DTG are getting a little bored of that. And we shall do the right thing this time and go back to on. Let the amps drop below 500 down there on the gauge here. And then we can go to off, because we have to start slowing down because we have got a 15 coming up. She doesn't brake real fast, be warned of that. Yeah, I think it is usable now, Animal TVI, and it's not unpleasant to drive anymore. So I think it'll be received okay. I have managed to concoct some orders of startup that actually break it. I have reported those, so hopefully they'll get addressed in the future. But your average player is going to get going, because you'd have to be pretty unlucky to find one of those concoctions. We'll just keep on rolling now. Now, up in front of us is not a red signal. I can see there's a little tiny arm there, which is actually at 45, so we can just roll on through this one. There is no need to be concerned. If you want to contact the signaller in this, you have to use the traditional methods, because there is no telling bone in here. Animal says, how does this Class 20 compare to a real one? Quite nicely, actually. It sounds very, very good, and it feels nice to drive. It feels about right. I think the only thing that's different is in a real one, when you fang it, smoke will come from absolutely everywhere, whereas on here it only comes out of the stacks. But I've seen that with multiple 20s. When you push them hard, the smoke comes from absolutely everywhere in the locomotive. There's our little tiny green, which means that we will be swapping over onto the other road and heading into the power station. But the top one would say we were doing it at this set of points, and the bottom one says we're doing it at the next set of points. Took me a while to figure that out. Holy Trucker says, I just wanted on more routes for the 90, bored of West Coast Mainline South after Monkey Nuts. Crewe is pretty much the same of it. Yep. I hear ya. I've never been that big a fan of West Coast Mainline South, to be honest. It's playable, but it's not exciting. Oh yeah, suspension. Oh, you got the front. Suspension's fairly nice. It's not the same level as Diesel Railcar Simulator, but it's good. There you go, you can see the steam properly now on the Fiddler's Ferry. Look at that. That is Xbox frying clouds right there. How did I zoom that in then? Not sure. Anyway, it's all good. Andy says, I believe Carlisle is just adding a new train variants into the mix, whereas Blackpool has the Mark 2s and 3s and the diesel and electric locos from Carlisle and Crewe to be added. Yeah, we'll have to have a look. We'll have a look tonight. We'll have a look after we finish this one. Michael Lay says we'll get day one. Fair enough. Holy Trucker says I want it on more routes for the 90. Sorry, I went through that one, didn't I? Is the 20 one of those trains where you get no brakes for about 15 seconds, all of a sudden it all comes on if you aren't careful? Yep, pretty much. And it's like that in real life too. The one I drove in real life had vacuum brakes and air brakes, and I tried both, and they both did that. And the guy was going, you know, you need to brake really early because you'll have nothing, all of it. Now, he was quite right. No phone, just use your mobile, says Animal. Do you know how big a mobile on the 80s would be? It's like this big thing. Hello? Yes, big thing. Danny Sprint, do you know if the Mark 123 coaches that come with this route have been modified to plus the TDM signalling like in real life? I do not know. I don't know that one. Animal says, I think most people will be playing this for a while. There's a lot of variability in this route. There's plenty to do. Yes, plenty. Holy Trucker wants Just Trains to make Teased Valley now. Not quite the right area of the country for their usual effect. Let's just go back to on, because we're starting to go a bit too quick. Where are we in the bubble? We're here, so we actually have to get all the way around there, so the distance it's counting is from there to there. So we'll actually get further away as we go further around this loop. It's amazing how after even all these years, that actually caught me out when I played it for the first time. It's like, what? Why am I getting further away? But no, I figured it out. I'm just dumb. Danny Sprint says the TDM is the multiple unit protocol between the 86.4, the 87.90 DBSOs and DBTs. Yeah, so I don't actually know about that one, Danny Sprint. I might have to ask that one in the Discord. Bob's Modelling Mayhem, hello, welcome along. Nick Giorgio, hello, morning from Leeds, just been on the Class 91 into Leeds from Wakefield, magic. So you know what it should sound like then. Andy Ladd said 80s mobiles came with a battery in a suitcase, they were that big. Or a battery in a car. They were rather large. I do like the giant puddles in here. Let me find one and get a good height. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that good? In fact, just to annoy Steam players, I'll do one of those. It's one thing I like about Just Trains routes is they find any excuse to put a massive puddle somewhere. Just so you can do things like this. Because you need to. I'm kind of assuming that this channel is part of a bunding system that clears the water away from that. And if we go and look, I think it's over there. I think we already passed it. There's a water treatment facility here with cascade tanks. So it treats in one cascade, 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 and so on. Eventually it'll get dumped in a creek somewhere. And he says, a nice shot in the reflection. It is. You got to like the Just Trains puddle. V says, any noticeable changes regarding performance? Not really on the patch for me, but my machine tends to cope with pretty much anything I throw at it, so where I will probably see a performance change is on the Xbox. I am not about to turn that thing on and let it update. I'm just not. Not while I'm trying to stream. It will go badly. Andy says there was a joke made on the stream. They seem to have stolen most of Thornaby's 47.3s for this route, so maybe send them back to Tees Valley. Well, that seems fair. The Class 20 grey colour is quite pretty. It is indeed, Hornby Man. Nick says, I still think Blackpool is one of the best routes in the game. It is a fun route. I think it's going to be a toss-up. If you like the Just Train stuff, all right, if you ignore everything else, it's a toss-up between this one and Blackpool, I think you may find. So I'll be really curious what you think in a couple of weeks. Lexic Dark says, wait, a gratuitous puddle shot? Absolutely. And just think, if you're a photographer with hairy legs wearing shorts, you can shoot your own ball sack. I didn't say that. I didn't call the Class 90 a man sausage in my video either. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Psych wonders what the curvature of the loop is. Pretty tight. Hear those flanges? Holy Trucker says 1 hour and 49 minutes for it to finish patching this update. Yeah, it'll be a while, mate. It's a big one. It affects a lot of stuff. Hornby Man says the Class 20 has a nice horn. Well, it's got more than one horn, mate. You weren't here before, I'm guessing, because it's got two. How's that? That one's louder when you sit in that desk, just saying. Now I am going back into the countdown, so I am going to resist the temptation to speed up, because I'm going to try and do this properly, unlike when I did my tutorial. The stop boards don't spad you, just saying. They probably should, but they don't. Bob says, what time is the patch due out for the Xbox X? Now. The Xbox X, it should be on its way to all platforms, I believe, so it may take a while to actually get to you, because, you know, you've got to wait your turn in the queue, but it will come. I'm going in the left-hand track this time. Fair enough. Let's just start getting a little bit of brake on. V says, do you think core patches for the performance improvements are enough, or would individual tracks need to be optimized as well? No, all the routes need optimization, not just the core. Now, there's a couple of stop boards. There's one right before the shed where you turn on slow speed mode, and there's another one just in front of the shed doors. And he says patch should be out now. It'll take its while to get around the world, I suspect. Let's just get the brakes off for a moment, and we shall slide up to this stop board. Hornby Man says the 4737 have quiet horns. Ooh, not anymore. Callum Romero, hello to you, welcome along. Michael Lay says coaching stock further BR Mark 1 and Mark 2 rolling stock be included in the Crewe Preston route. This includes the Mark 1 NEA, RBR, TSO, BFK and FK. Yes, that's from the notes. Alright, we shall stop for the first stop board. You don't actually have to do this. It's fine if you don't want to. Righto. Now at this point, if they meant something, you would ask the signaller, but we're not going to do that. We are going to hop up, and we're going to come over here and slow speed select to 1. That's fine. That's 0.5 mile an hour. So we can sit back down here. And we won't put slow speed mode on just yet though. Because, you know, clearly we've just hopped out and we've talked to the blokes and gone, we're going to bring the train into the shed, boys. Good luck, animal. Hello, Chris Martin. Calamari will be picking this up tomorrow. Let's just get the throttle back to off, because we have to stop again for the next stop board. Mark says patch installed 20 minutes ago. Hornby Man says I like the class 47 horn when it's passing the station. Well, in this route, you will hear some more AI horns. He's so horny. Alright, want to stop near the board and you'll see why in a moment. Alright, don't run over the board. There we go. Lovely. Alright. Full independent brake. Release the train brake again. And now we want to go to engine only. Slow speed. Now we've got 2 locos, so it's slow speed 2. Otherwise you'd use slow speed 1. Then we go back to forwards. It's right to go in, brother. Alright, mate. Get in the fucking shed. Alright, now we can just give it some beans until it actually moves. And once you've got it moving, then you can just put it back to the slow speed on, which is hard to get onto with the TSCX, I have to say. It's a bit easier with the keyboard. Oh, come on. Alright, let's do it this way. There we go, slow speed position. It's pretty easy with the keyboard. I think with the controller triggers it's easy as well. It's a little bit hard with the lever. It'll be the same with the rail driver. That's an unfortunate movement, isn't it? So this will now spend the next 807 minutes crawling through the shed. by itself. You can get out and walk away if you want to, as long as you didn't turn on DSD. I may have done this. Just hopped out and walked off, and I went and picked it up out the other side somewhere after I wandered around for a while. Man, that guy is so stoned. Train's on the other side, mate. What's with the eyelashes? What's going on? Is it eyelash day? Did no one tell me? Wow, I hit something. Oh, I hit him. Okay, he's got a massive collision box on his head. That's fine. He's got the eyelashes too. She hasn't got eyelashes. What's going on? Alright, the first one's almost in here. Bob says, got it. Thanks, bud. I thought it was due out yesterday, though, as I said, on 16th, and it's now the 17th. No, it was due out on the 17th. So, on the 16th, they said tomorrow. Nice shed indeed. Just needs a shed in it, right? Michael says, all new update on Class 20 changes, enhancements, exterior, Warnable locomotives. Yes, there are some changes, yes. That's from the patch notes. I particularly love the mashed-in grills, where it looks like someone sat on it. I'm quite impressed with that. All the locos are like that, and they're all slightly different. Ah, we're going to unload. Very good. Let me get in a spot where we can get down below here. That's probably as good as I can get. Because we'll see the little levers on the sides of the carriages open and close the hoppers. They open and close twice. I'm a little disappointed in the unloading animation from down here, but I kind of think maybe you shouldn't be able to get down here. There we go. They just opened up. So in the real thing, there'd be something sticking up that triggers these, but they don't seem to have modeled that. And I'll show you what I mean about the unloading animation if I can get close to it. Yeah, so it's sort of white, and it's falling down outside the doors as well, and sometimes it's going up, so it's a bit weird. So yeah, there's updraft as well. That could just be the dust. And everything shuts, and then it comes up here, probably about here, I think, and then they'll open again. So you can see the next carriage is starting to dump. This first one's still not empty. There it goes. It's starting to dump again. Now, do you want to see the whole unloading, or do you want me to jump to something else? Because, trust me, this will be a little while. Because, you know, it's got to unload all of those at 0.5 miles an hour. It does take about 15 to 18 minutes for this to happen. So, I'll pop a pole on. There we go. There's a poll going out. Welcome along to all the people who aren't chatting as well. It's good to have you. Andy says JT's attention to detail on little things like grills, damaged buffers, etc. is really nice. Bob says, in real life, I often see Class 20s on the RHTT passing through my city. They're quite a cool machine. You can see into the hoppers here. It's quite a nice view. I'll see if I can follow this one till it shuts. So you can see it shut. There we go. Oops. If you can tell me where the spotting locations are, Andy, absolutely. Like I said, I haven't actually played this. The route will be a little bit jumpy too, because I did send an AI train out, but it's only run in one direction. We've got 58%, so keep going unloading. All right. I should have actually shown you what happens if you fang the Class 20s in the shed. You just fill up the whole building with smoke and it just sits in here. It's magnificent. We have Pennsylvania-style signals with up and down for go and horizontal for stop. See, that one's at stop. I haven't seen any situations where there's multiples. Did I not do headlights? Oh no, I did. They're on. I haven't seen any situations where there's two trains unloading at the same time as yet. That would be cool. Oh, there's a collectible. Hang on a tick. Let's turn off DSD. We'll just leave this to its own devices for a tick, because it's not as though we can't catch up with it. And let's go and get this collectible. So we've got to fix this cabinet, fix all the relays. There we go. Lovely. And we can just wander around and have a look around now. Uh-oh. Can I get back in? No! Ah. Wrong desk, but that's okay. Well, let's go for a wander. Now we know I can do that. I managed to get back in before. Let's go for a wander. Where can we go? Ah, yes. That's where the screenshot for my other video came from. What happens if I walk into the pit? I can't. It won't let me. It's smarter than that. What about through the man door? Yeah, I can walk through here. You can't open and close them yourself, sadly. That would be too cool. Imagine dumping a big pile of coal in a siding somewhere just because you could. Can't go up the ladders. What? No. G'day, eyelashes. How are you? Imagine working here and you come out and this is here and it's going this fast. You'd be really tempted to climb up and go over the top, but it won't let you, I don't think. No, can't do it. Oh, now I can't get back in there. Alright, we'll do it this way. We can climb up this end. There we go. We'll ride into the shed this way and jump off. Hornby man would like a 20 and a 58 in a rail tour. We haven't got a 58 though. Did I tell you my really cool news yet? No. Hopefully you've got a job. There you go. Let's see if I... Oops, no, I need to get back on. Can I get off here? No. How about here? No. Oh no, I'm stuck. I'll have to wait for the next one to come through so I can climb up. This feels like it's getting faster, actually. Where's the next one? I'll let this carry me through to the other end. It's sad that you can climb in one end and not the other, though. I think that's dumping a little bit early, isn't it? Gut feel. It's just a gut feel. There we go. We'll ride this through to the other end and then we'll be able to get off. Andy says I can't remember where they said they were. How many wagons? We'll do that. Let's... Can we do Control 0 from here? No, can I do that from the ground? Andy said they showed two trains unloading at the same time in the JT stream. It's pretty cool. I haven't found a service that's doing it yet, but maybe it's the 47s that do that, because they do loading and unloading as well. Dimin Alba, hello there, Mr. Scotland, expat from Liverpool, New South Wales. Very good. I'll be in Scotland in a couple of months. Reminds me I should finish booking that. Tomac67, wait, there's a new Preston add-on. That's this! Preston Crewe! Bob says, probably daft question, but is there anyone at chat who used to work with the MDR trains, or it was driving or unloading that could tell us how it all works? That would be good, because, you know, I just make it up, because who knows? Oh, mail. Exciting. Nah, it's all from the bank. I don't read mail from the bank. I'm well, thanks, Racing Transport. How are you? Gav says, Tom or Benedict says, let's give these guys bushy eyelashes. Yep. It's all the rage, really. And they probably did do it deliberately, knowing them. Looks like we're going to keep going with the unloading. It's gotten to 55%. Let's just knock that off. So we'll keep going with this. Flying Southerner says, yes, I've got a new job. Fantastic. You're working for the company that supports Virgin Atlantic. Very nice. You can have flying virgins. Yep. Well, the envelopes from the bank that I didn't want to open, the dear good other half has opened, and they just want more money, and no great surprise there.
That's why we're selling it.
It is why we're selling it. One of the many reasons. It's really funny. The banks have, I think they so expected the Reserve Bank to put the interest rates up this week that they all said, well, we're putting our rates up. But the Reserve Bank didn't actually put their interest rates up, so now the banks are putting their rates up anyway, just proving that they are, in fact, complete assholes. That would be a Luna.
Did you leave me chips?
Yeah. Yeah, they're near your burger. Bob says, cue a well-known runway theme. Runaway. Oh, okay. No, we're not running away, mate. We're good. I've just got to get on the ground and I can get up near the cab so I can control zero back into it. We'll be fine. Flying Southerner says, hopefully starting on the 22nd, waiting for all the government compliance checks. Ah, yes, you're working for an airline. You need to get security checks, don't you? Andy says, banks want more money out of you. What a surprise. Well, they're about to get a lump sum, assuming the house sells. Oh, she's gone. I was going to tell her the engineering report's been done. We had to get an engineering report, because who knew? Who knew owner-builders probably shouldn't touch anything? What? Touch nothing, it's safer. Alrighty, I should be able to get off now. Am I still stuck? No, I'm still stuck. How about now? Whee! Let's get back up near my locos so I can actually get in. My good man, have you seen a locomotive anywhere? I've lost mine. Oh, there it is. We're about halfway through the coal loading process with all these antics. Yeah, it's still moving. Can I get up? Come on, let me up there. It's only half a mile an hour. Of course I can get up there. Ah, fine. We'll do it the easy way then. Can't see much that way. We do have the proceed on the signal. And how many carriages, someone asked, didn't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and lucky last 36. And yes, I know I could have paused the game and had a look in the thing, but, you know, it's more fun to do it that way. Especially since the train's just going to be there for a while. So, you know, the more we can do that's just fun. Now, I have to say, if I was driving that big yellow thing and I didn't like this guy, he'd be in a lot of trouble. Or I would, one or the other. Here's another one of those magnificent reflecting shots. I think I actually used this for a thumbnail. Okay, so we need to go there. It's pretty nice, really. I do wonder what that's going to do to, say, the Xbox S or a lower-end gaming machine. I did see in the results of the latest Steam survey that the 10.0 and 2.0 cards have almost disappeared. They're down to less than 7% between them. Gav says, bushy eyelashes, 80s style. You mean they want to sell you? Probably. Train Chaser Andy, I did see a doctor about concussion. Now I have to put an appointment for an MRI head scan. Well done. Well done, sir. It's taken you a few weeks, but you are a boy, so that happens. We are terrible about going to the doctor. Never trust a boy when it comes to going to the doctor. It's just not worth it. There's a good spot. You can see them all empty out. Oop, gone. Suddenly I had to be DBS checked as well. I actually hold a low-level American security clearance. Isn't that weird? And when I had to get one in Australia, they went, hey, you've got an American one. And I went, oh, no. And they went, why? And I said, I worked on buses. Bob says workers missing the hard hats. Health and safety people go nuts over that lot. Well, you know, it's the 80s, mate. No one did hard hats. Andy says, luckily health and safety wasn't really a thing in the 80s. This is true. What they did in the 80s was they put up a big sign that said, don't hurt yourself. That was health and safety. Go Loco. Hello to you. I haven't talked to you for donkeys. And yes, Drop Bear, I know. A bit of an old name. Don't use that much anymore. But yeah, it's still around, I suppose. No, I'm not masquerading as Paddington. I do have a Paddington coat, though. Holy Trucker says, I think we should admit each Just Train route sets the bar even higher. This is by far the best route now. You've seen this little tiny bit of this massive route. I mean, you have literally... You've seen this bit through here. Look how much more there is. Yep. Evening, Hawks. How are you? Andy Ladd says, good news, Andy. Hopefully the MRI will come back clean. When I had one done, they said I couldn't find a brain, but inside of my skull was nice and clean. With me, they'd probably find Alan's snakes. I eat so many of them, I'm kind of made of them. Jelly snakes. I was very sad in the UK. I couldn't find jelly snakes anywhere until the last day. And then I found someone selling Alan's jelly snakes in the airport. I'm all right, Hawks. I've been up since 5 a.m, so I'm a little drowsy, but that's okay. We will survive. Bob says, I wonder if they brought back the MGRs for the modern power stations that use biomass. Yeah, I believe they have, actually. It's a very similar concept. Trains in, trains out, trains in, trains out. I love the concept of biomass. It's like instead of using a fuel that's compact and easy to transport and a little bit of it gives you a lot of energy, they burn trees. Where a lot of it gives you a little bit of energy. Oh well. Oh well. Our giant power stations still run on coal. So, we have coal and gas power stations. And I think one nuclear. I think the nuclear one in New South Wales are still alive. Hello, Ian. How are you? Welcome along. We've got 46 in tonight, so there's a bit of interest in the Just Trains work. It's funny that I occasionally get a comment from someone saying, I know you don't like Just Trains, but... because I say things like, Just Trains, they're perfect. They can't get anything wrong. It's not that I don't like Just Trains. I actually do. I quite enjoy them. Oh, you want a Greta? There you go.
How dare you?
I quite like Just Trains' work. I really do, and they're nice guys. Just to make that really, really clear. The only thing I point out is that when Just Trains make a mistake, no one cares. But, you know, if someone like Rivet made the exact same mistake, or ATS, everyone cares. Now, it's just inequality. We've got about another, what, 9 or so to go. We're getting there. I haven't tried unloading them faster. The manual says to use 0.5 of mile an hour, but I haven't tried going quicker. I think they said something about their stream that you could. We could try that, I suppose. Andy says apparently most UK coal nowadays is consumed by Heritage Railways. There's only 2 railways that get UK coal, and they get it from Wales. That's Talathin, and the other little railway that's right near it. I can't remember what it's called, Welsh Highland Heritage or whatever it is. That one does too. Most of the others get coal from Ukraine and Russia. Ian says, I'm good, thanks. I see that you're keeping Greta happy once again. Absolutely. Andy says, we don't currently have a nuclear power plant in Australia. It was a thing for uni nuclear student or something like that. We do have nuclear medicine plants, so they don't produce electricity, but they are nuclear plants. They are a reactor. But don't we have Lucas Heights? Isn't Lucas Heights still going? Let me have a look. I have to confess I don't really know. Yeah, it's still running, 20 megawatts. So it's only a little baby thing. It's a high flux Australian reactor, which just means it calls everybody rude names when they go near it. Yeah, we're getting there. How's our locos going? Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh. Just should have warned people we were crossing the road, I suppose. You imagine trying to drive across that, you just get stuck. You'd be just a little bit dead, I think. Look, game, I want to sit up here, okay? This is where I want to be. Actually, what we should do while we're here, I don't know if you can change this on the fly. This might break. We'll see. Boop. Is it making more amps? Is it speeding up? Yep, it's sped up to 1 mile an hour, so can we... will it still unload everything at 1 mile an hour? Because that wouldn't be half as boring. As long as it all comes out and I don't have to back up, it'll be fine. I'm wondering if it's going to make it. I think 1 mile an hour might be too fast. It is going out of the hopper, but is it going to finish? I don't think it is. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, good. All right, what about a full one, though? Will a full one make it at 1 mile an hour? Grumpy says, give it the beans, we need smoke. I can't yet, mate. Andy said I'll be dead before it's fully unloaded. Yeah. Andy says, managed to load at 5 mile an hour, so unloading should be done at the same speed. No, you wouldn't be able to do it at 5. Look, that's not going to finish. Is it going to finish? No, it's not going to finish. Okay, back down to half. I might have to back up now. Did it finish? Oh, it did. How lucky's that? So 1 mile an hour is a bit too quick. Now you notice it doesn't actually slow down all that much when you drop the speed. You need to brake for it to slow down properly. Oh, and you have 2 speedos too. This one is not active in slow speed mode. This one is active. And in normal mode, this one's not inactive. This one is inactive and this one is active. We will see smoke soon enough, Grumpy Englishman. We have to finish unloading though, because I don't want to balk it. We've waited so long. Here's the last one. And then we will have to come to a stand and switch out of low speed mode after it empties. I don't want those two explaining to each other for so long. I tried to win the lotto, but it didn't work, so I had to come back to work today. I'm very sad. Oh yes, I understand. Right, that's empty. Good. So, let's go to off. And let's stop the train. And put that brake on, release that one. And we will go back and put this to... Oops, hang on, don't get it wrong. You have to go to engine only first, then do it, and then go back to forwards. Okay. Are we ready for some clag?
How dare you?
I did have to go back to off because we would have oversped rather handily then, and we have to stop at a red signal up here because we will get passed by the other train that's going to come in. We have the beans. Syke says dumping interruptus. Is that when you pull your finger out? Hornby Man says your best rail tour, Black 5 or Sir Nigel or Class 37. 37, of course. Steam rail tours are boring, Hornby Man. They really are. Riding it on a proper steam railway is fun. But steam rail tours, you can't see the locomotive, you can't put your head out, you can't look, you can't stick your hands out with a camera. It's just like riding a train. It just smells different. And have we got all reds up there? Yes, we do. So there'll be another train coming in. In fact, I can see it. When I was recording the tutorial, I spattered here and had to do it again. Train Chaser Andy says that's really true about SRV and rail tours. Yeah, if you're chasing the tour, it's good. If you're on it, not so much. And heritage railways are awesome because most of them let you stick your head out, and most of them don't bat an eyelid if you hang a camera off the side of the train. They just don't care. And we won't mention the Isle of Wight Steam Railway with the world's grumpiest man who did actually get upset about it. But I have a video of him being upset because he didn't know my camera was still on. One day I'll put him up as a short. He reminded me of the angry bloke from On the Buses. Andy says updates are done. East Coastway also had an update, but I don't remember seeing that route on the list DTG put out. I thought there was a brief mention of East Coastway. Maybe not. Maybe it was East Coast Main Line that they mentioned. But yeah, I think their patch list is not all inclusive. Class 20 and 37 both have nice clag. They do, Hornby Man. This is the last of this one. Blakey, that's the one. And Syke said that would be a great short. It would, but I don't really want to upset the bloke. He's probably a volunteer. He's probably just having a bad day, to be honest. That's why I haven't put it up. While it would be really funny, I'm kind of nice to him. Hello. You can walk around with your boobs out if you want. I don't care. Hawk says most heritage railways don't have trains running at 160 kilometres an hour in the opposite direction. This is true. Apologies for the really slow countdown, but you're pretty used to it. Hello.
I thought that was Luna for a minute there.
Thought it was what?
Luna.
You thought it was Luna?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me it looked like a dildo. Because it does. Oh, we get up to accelerator. We're not going to make it. All right, we're fine. 0 yards. All good. Full brake application. There we go. Full service. And this is where we would sit and wait for another train. Objective complete. Look at that. I only sped a little bit. I was well behaved. And I got a glod. I don't think I've had a platinum yet, but, you know, I was mucking around with tutorials and stuff, so who knows. Alrighty. What were we going to do? We were going to look at... Let's go back to... Oops, I clicked on return to timetable. Idiot. We'll go look at Carlisle to see if it's got new services. That's what we were going to look at next. Racing Transport says sound update for East Coastway. Could well be, yes. Train Chaser Andy said they was chill. And I kind of trespassed at VGR last weekend, went into the yard to get a few right side sun shots. Just ask them, they're normally fine. Not like Puffing Billy. I didn't say that, I was never here. Carlisle. That one, has it got new services? It'd be that one, wouldn't it, if it did? I don't know. It hasn't got a 47.3. It does have a class 20, and it is the Rail Freight Grey one. But that's from Tees Valley. It's not from... No, so maybe they don't. Oh, and they've got that one we don't talk about. That one. So, no, it doesn't look like it. That's a bummer. But that's okay. So let's have a look at Blackpool. So it looks like you were correct there, Andy, and that Blackpool probably has them and not the other one. I guess that one. 86/2. That's not one of theirs, is it? 86.4, 87 blue, 47.3. There you go. That's new. And the Rail Freight disc. So yes, it does have new services on here from Crewe Preston. What's that, about 10? And that one. So that's about 10. Near enough to a 20. Near enough to 30. And yes, I know you can get a number out of here. Near enough to 40. 55, 60, but that could be substitutions. Don't forget, they might not be new services. But anyway, let's go back to the route we want to look at. West Coast Main Line, Crewe Preston. Do we do a scenario? No, let's leave the scenarios. Let's let people... I like to let people play the scenarios. And I haven't played them either. Tim Table. Let's get into a 47/3. And we'll go Rail Freight Grey again, because I like the grey ones. And I'd like a loading. I'd like a loading. Actually, I should be able to just type load, shouldn't I? No. No, can't do load. Loaded coal train, so that must be the loading. 7M33, there must be another one of those. Intercity. There you go. We'll do an intercity from Wigan to Preston and then we'll come back and do a loading one. Why not? Go. Holy Trucker says, do the haunted tunnel branch, please. Oh, the 86-4 was there too. Yeah, I didn't see that. Yes, I know Tintin's in the game as Graffiti. Andy says John Hoy was there as well. Great cab rider stated before the last stream. You should chat with John. He's got some good stories. And Ian says, what a grey day. Boop. Boop. Doors open, probably, I suppose. What are we yanking? You just go and bang your head on the door, mate. I'm sure whatever's happening in your life, it's not that bad. No, don't go in there. Oh, he's falling down the hole. He's fallen down the hole, he did. Oh, well. Andy says, yeah, I'm up for 4 days there next week, so I'm hoping to see him there on Friday. Can you find me a service, Holy Trucker? Is there any wording anywhere on what services go through that branch? Oh, look at that. Magic. Let's go on this platform and enjoy the smoke. Andy says, got good news. I just found out my daughter has passed her college course. About to go back next year to do the higher level course. Magic. Well done. I think we need to put it into forwards. That's grinding the side of my head off, but don't let that worry you. Very horny. Wait until 8:19 and then we'll shut the doors. I have noticed it doesn't like shutting the doors early in this route. Probably get away with it now. Guard's whistle. Break off and go. That was probably slipping like a bastard while we did that, but whatever. Gratuitous bridge shot. Noisy, ain't it? I've just turned that down a bit for me so I don't yell at you. If you'd like me to turn it down for you, please let me know. Well done, Andy. Clay's so realistic it made Paul cough. Yes, it did. We'll go with that. Might be a little while before we actually hit 95 miles an hour. Ooh. No wires that mysteriously disappear into the ground. Well done, Just Trains. Well done. $14 miles to Preston. This loco is Preston Crewe. It's a new one, 47/3. And it's got low speed control, which works a little bit differently to the other one. There's a switch on the back wall. It's only at one end of the cab though, so if you're in the cab without this switch, you have to put it in engine only, go up the other end and turn the switch on. See, I'll be leaving. I'm not going to run an 86.2 because all the other ambassadors will do that. Thought I'd be different and run some diesely grunty stuff. And he says, hoping to see you 4 days next week, hoping to see him there on Friday. I should actually interview the bloke for the podcast, really. Because he does have a lot of good stories. Yes. An 80s TSR, apparently. Ian said, what's your best way to get these engines moving, as I seem to struggle with them? Brakes off, throttle on, go! That's about all I do. So you've seen the practice I have is I apply the independent brake, or straight brake, or driver's brake, or locomotive brake, whatever you want to call it, and I release the driver's brake or train brake. That way you'll get going quicker because it gives the train a chance to charge up. Let's get her back to 70. She's on the way there. Good. And back on the juices. Just lightly this time. How do I find the Haunted Tunnel branch, Holy Trucker? Tell me how to find it and I will. Right, we should be clear when the back of the train goes past that mark, so let's just go back to full fang, because we won't accelerate till that gets there. On our way to Preston. Nine 3/4 for Harry Potter, indeed. If you're having trouble getting him to move, it's probably because the brakes haven't released. Can you put headboards on your rail tour? I don't know if they have that. Some of the rail tours do. I don't know if this one does. Andy says start with gentle power in until it gets moving and slowly increase power every few miles. It seems to work for me. I can do a demo. There we go. Let's go back to off. And we'll stop the train. And we'll make everybody's shit and the fish and chips fall on their laps. So we'll get it back down to stopped. Deepdale, okay. Let me write that down. Nearly there, so I'll just release the brakes a lot. Alright, so I will put on the independent brake and we'll wait for a while it charges up that brake pipe. Grumpy says full throttle and hope for the best. That's often what I do. But if we're doing it properly. Let's go check the brakes at the back and see if they've come off yet. If these have animated brake blocks. I can't tell, to be honest. Looks like they're modelled separately. Quiet you. No, I can't tell if they've come off yet, so we'll just give this a try anyway. But horniness, release your independent brake. When that gets down to about 20 pounds, go to on. And wait for a moment and then give it some juice. You can see the killer amps climbing up. And give it a bit more. Give it a bit more. Give it a bit more. And then you can just go full bananas. And that way you should take off without too much wheel slip. Oh, no smoke. I'm sad now. Nigel, hello. Late arriving. Good morning. I'm hoping you are well. Really looking forward to this route. It looks fantastic. It does so far. I've touched like this much of it. That's all I've had time for. It's been one of those sad things. I just haven't had time. After I finished my tutorials last night at about 10:30, I got them published. I was thinking, I should stay up and play for a couple of hours. Then I remembered I had to get up at 5 AM and I went, yeah, nah, bad idea. So I haven't done a full-length run, so we'll see lots of the stuttering, but, you know, here's what it is. Gav says, all of JTT goes flying, and I hear Tom swearing in his northern language. Hey, what are you goods doing? Oh, Trickus, I can't believe this route selling at a standard route cost. Great deal. And Hornby Man says, I like when a rail tour picks up speed. It's always good. I haven't even explored guard mode on this route in the slightest. Wow, someone just posted an angry comment in one of my videos. It's okay, I think YouTube will filter that one out. Nigel says it's a bargain for $29.99 UK poons, which will be about $60 for the Aussies, most likely. Andy says, I don't blame you for not staying up, given you had to be up so early. Yeah, I mean, I kind of would have, you know, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I probably would have done it. But these days, no. It takes me a couple of days to recover when I do something stupid like that. Wasn't you, Grumpy? Of course not. Holy Trucker says, so glad you're not doing the 86 between Just Trains and Dovetails preview. Kind of bored of the 86 now. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that everybody's going to do the 86. So I thought I'd do some of the others. Ooh, what's in there? What's in there? Huh. I like it when they do things like that. Are we going a little bit might fast? Maybe. Just bring it down to about 30%. Should be quiet now too. Andy says, I imagine guard mode would be pretty much the same as the other two JT routes. Yeah, probably. Just, you know, it would have been nice to have time for me to have a play with it, because I haven't done a guards mode tutorial either. So, you know, life... There's only so many hours in the day. And it's an office day tomorrow, but I am off all day Friday, and I do not have a shift on the real railway this Friday. So you know what I'm going to be doing all day, don't you? AWS. I could always stream it all day Friday. Ooh. I was thinking I could run a railroad a day too. I could do both. Ooh. I could run a railroad a day on the big route. I haven't done that for ages. I don't even know if it still works. We'll see though. Holy Trucker says free wheelbarrow, mark the location. Train Chaser Andy says surely show up and ride VGR on Friday. What's the weather like? What are they doing on Friday? go up and annoy John Hoy, you reckon? They running this Friday? Blue timetable. 1st of March to 37 December. Yeah, yeah, they are. Could do, potentially. Could do. That could be a potential. Ah. Double yellow. Just check how long it will get me to Castlemaine. 2 hours, that's not too bad. I'll think about that. Oh, I think we might need all the stops. Let's chuck the anchor out the back too. I'll be right now. It'll be fine. It's only AWS. It's not like it's TPWS and it'll whack me. She'll stop before the signal. I mean, no problem at all. See? She a good girl. It's going to stop, isn't it? Yep. Yep, it is. Oh, hang on. Let's get in the right spot. Flag moment. Oh, no smoke. What's going on? Need to get the right camera angle for the smoke. Or are we not getting any smoke? I better not keep fanging it. Because, you know, we've got a red signal coming up. Or has it gone yellow now? Oh yeah, double yellow with a feather. We'll be right. Whacking that button. Bob says time to test the 90 and you're on Xbox X. Good luck, Bob. Let me know how it goes, mate. I kind of think it'll be okay. I don't know about the sound, but the rest of it should be okay. Syke says eating banana pudding. I'm not quite sure where eating banana pudding came from, but okay. Gabs... I missed a few comments there, didn't I? Castlemaine rain on Friday. Gab says they have added audio announcements for this and Blackpool branches, plus an audio to tell where the buffet car and how far the next station is. Cool. Might have to ride. They run a 4-car train on Fridays, normally 2 first class and 2 excursion. There you go. Lady Sophie, hello. What? Just Trains Lagoon is not only a bargain of a fantastic route, but a living time capsule given coal mines and coal-fired power stations are extinct. Yes, because the good lady got them, didn't she? The iron one. As we roll into Preston, and I miss an opportunity for a gratuitous bridge shot. I think we should get down lower. There we go. There's a nice shot. And... steam thing. Ooh, frame rate died a little bit there. Whoa, that's bad. 22? On my machine? Good God, that's going to be 2 FPS on your average computer. Wow, I hadn't seen that. There's a bad asset back there somewhere. A very bad asset. And you want me to go up there because you'll be there on Friday? Well, that's a reason. being the 26th, you'll be there. My next puff's on the 24th, I think, Wednesday. It reminds me, I need to see if I put the day off for that. Gab says, dear passengers, like to inform you to put all the anchors and put all your luggage. Yes, just chuck it out in front of the train, please. Andy Ladd says, tell me about it. I stayed up to 4 AM Monday night playing a multiplayer session of HO14. Myself ironically controlling Australia and felt like crap for 2 days afterwards. Yes, yes, that happens when you get older. It's like when you forget your medication and you go, okay, my heart's going to explode. This is good. Fortunately, Salesforce wasn't that exciting, so it was fine. Ew, blurry destination board on the train there. There it goes. Preston. Got down to 17 FPS train chaser, Andy. Ooh. That's not good. Good news, the Class 90 now works properly on the Xbox X. That is very good news. Lady Sophie says, yep, definitely day one purchase. Glad you're liking it. Holy Trucker says day one. Train Toaster Andy says 26 should be possible existing on VGR area. No, not likely. It's a family thing, I think. But no, my next railway's 24th. That puff. It's 24th or 25th, one or the other. But weirdly, we're running a Train of Lights train before the Train of Lights train season, and I don't get what it's for. I don't get, are we just taking in empty cars up, or are we actually, is it a practice? Is it what? I don't know. But, you know, Bradley and I have no idea. We've been kept in the dark. No S-notice yet. So we'll see. I don't even know if we're going to Gembrook yet. It just says special. Garrett. Big. So we'll see what it is. It's possible we're taking the empty cars to Lakeside. Because the cars stay at Lakeside for that train and they get outfitted at Lakeside, so maybe that's what they're doing. Or we're taking it to Gembrook for them to put all the shit on it. That would also be possible, because last year they outfitted it at Gembrook. Because they could park it in 2 Road and leave it there. Lots of room to get trucks and stuff down either side of it. So I don't know. Be interesting coming back light engine from Gembrook. That's a long bloody way to maintain a fire with no draft. That'd be a bastard. Be better off as a diesel job doing that. Lady Sophie says, if you remember correctly, the Pacer had updates to blinds to include destinations for new route. Yeah, it'll let you go into Crewe now. Full service, doors open, and now we need to go and find something for Deepdale. Was it under 47? Andy, it's meant to be the NGG. It's the only one that can haul that consist. We couldn't get the Train of Lights concept up the hill with Net 8, just wouldn't make it. Andy Ladd said, seemed to tank just after you took the screenshots. It could have caused the game to beastly crap the bed, as has been fine since. Yeah, or there's a bad asset up there. Let me just put that into engine only. And then before it finishes, let's hoob up there. Oh, we got stuck in the roof. Okay. Oh, go get stuck on the bloody wires. Who puts collisions on wires? So it doesn't seem to be the bridge, does it? No, it is lower there. It's something in that direction. Because it's fine that way. Let's just follow the path along the tracks. We're in the second track, weren't we? Yeah, look, there's that's dropped way down there. There's something here that's not right. So I think the combination of having the moving train... That's a Gronk coming towards us, isn't it? Something around here either interacted with the train smoke or it interacted with the train itself. And there's an asset around here somewhere that's just too powerful for its own good. But I can't tell what it is. I'm watching the FPS counter and I haven't seen it drop that low again. So I don't know. Weird. Maybe it's them. Chug, 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 chug. Alright, lock the doors. There are full line runs in the Gronk, yes. It'd probably take you about a week. Oh look, platinum is possible. Good to know. Good to know. Right. Return to timetable. Let's see if there's something for Deepdale. Andy thinks it's the 20 for Deepdale. Let's go. Let's try the... What I'll probably do with the full-length Gronk run is just set it off and just leave it running on a live stream and see if anybody actually watches it. Crewe to Preston, Deepdale. Well, that's a long way. That's a long way. Preston, Deepdale to Parkside, Colliery. I get to that quick. Walton, Altside to Deepdale. Any thoughts? Does that one go through the tunnel? No. We'll try. I should have put full clouds on because it's 13:49. We'll see. Welcome to the new people who have joined in today. We are looking at Just Trains Preston, Crewe, and we're doing predominantly diesel stuff. We're going to try and find the haunted tunnel. What happens in the haunted tunnel? So just facing that way, we're going to go this way, aren't we? Is that going to go through a tunnel? I don't see one. Well, it is going down there. Is there a tunnel on here? I guess there must be something there, but don't those lines go under those lines? Where am I supposed to see a tunnel? I did not see a tunnel on the map. Any thoughts? So do we reckon this one's going to work? How now? Oops, window. Headlight. I take it this isn't a passenger. No, it's an empty Coley's. Alright, let's roll in. Tunnels are before the main line, you think? No, we'll run it. Let's see what it does. The worst that happens is it's another run. It's fun. We'll see. Not going too fast. Oh no, we're all going to die. You should be a can of beer. Gonna be making a hard right, it seems. 90 degrees in a train, that should be fun. One of those places everyone says is haunted. Fair enough. Not aware of any, says Phil. Andy says, I don't think it shows a tunnel on the map. To get from Deep Dive, remember correctly, the main line has to go through the tunnel. Oh well, we'll find out. Nigel says, it's not as good getting old as the medical team give you loads of tablets to swallow. Yes, they do. Yes, you just do get more and more tablets. I'm only on 3, so, you know, kind of happy about that. What are we pulling? Oh, it's only a baby train. No wonder it'll accelerate quickly. Holy Trucker says there are those days like me when a temporary speedboard pops up when I'm in the ice going 250. I'm like, yeah, nah. Andy says it should be a bottle of 12-year-old Glenfiddich. I could go and get some apple juice, but I've got safety systems on. This is the peak forest stock, the unfitted stuff. I don't know if it's ever used on real trains. A couple of 20s. Oh no, we're going too fast! Alright, we'll slow down. Everybody else is allowed to do 100 down here, but clearly not us. No, not us. That's not the way to the tunnel down there, is it? Andy says, I'm a teenager, I'm already on 1 pill for my headaches, had to get a script for it, and yet they do jack shit. And you're on the wrong pill, sunshine. Talk to your doctor. Don't take pills that don't do anything. Because all pills have side effects. Some of them are less magnificent than others. Ian said it should just be alcohol, full stop. Ah, we can do that between the next trains. Tastes nicer than mouthwash. The loading's been fairly good, I have to say. Hey, mate. That looks like a train of sea cows to me. Yeah, we're going slow enough for the TSR anyway. It doesn't matter. No one cares. Stop your jiggling. So we cruise through to Arpley Shuntneck 4. It's exciting. Holy Trucker says take turmeric for headaches. Don't take too much turmeric though, because you actually go yellow because it makes your liver fail. So be careful with the old turmeric. I've seen that happen to someone. She's not in a great way. And she's yellow. The yellow bit's pretty funny. It looks like The Simpsons, but, you know, she's not good for her health. Andy says they do something, but not for long. Well, you still need better ones then. Nigel says, I took turmeric for my arthritis, but it made no difference, unfortunately. Arthritis is, for me, what works is potassium and magnesium, but because of my blood pressure meds, I can't have the potassium anymore. Grouse. Lady Sophie says, best pills, max strength, 3500 of codamol. They work well. Might need stronger dosage than Andy. Yeah, it could be a dosage thing, or if you get headaches that last over a long period, you can also discuss that with your doctor, because they can give you the same pill but in a time release, so that the coating around it breaks down much slower, and the active ingredient will be released over a much longer period. Andy says they even say do not take more than 3 pills in a 24-hour period. Well, they all say that. I think you'll find it says without doctor's advice. So if a doctor tells you to do it, it's perfectly okay. Arpley shunt neck stop. I like the it's gentle. It's not as much as a pacer. Yes, the B button does work for the 90 bob. It does indeed. B and circle. I am told by PlayStation people that circle does work, which is good. And he says it's Maxalt, whatever that is. Your headache does not go away, you should see a neurologist, not a GP. Yeah, we have to start with the GP and then get a referral. Neutral zone? We're a diesel, don't you know? I don't care about your stinking neutral zones. Locomotive 8572, I'm a nurse. I just joined a stream to see the new route. It's a chat about medications. It's like being at work. I'm sorry. Yeah, one of the Andys is a paramedic too, or an ex-paramedic, one or the other. There's some sea cows up there by the looks of it. Or are they just the new... No, they're the new coal wagons. Is this the tunnel? Chain trace, Randy. I've got to get an MRI head scan next couple of weeks. Yeah, it'll be a good thing to do, Andy, because you'll finally know whether there's any concussion injuries or not. This red signal will come up by surprise, not on the HUD, won't it? Bob says, yep, now you're getting it confirmed by a guy on an Xbox too. That's fantastic, Bob. Enjoy it, mate. Andy says, just be careful, it's codeine-based meds. They can be very addictive for some people. Seen a few people that use them long-term, and effects aren't fun trying to get them weaned off. Yes! There's a reason you can't buy codeine anymore. Although you still can, if you know what to ask for. Holy Trucker says headache also means you might need glasses if you don't wear them already. Andy says I've had concussion, so that's why. Ian Bradley recommended buy or wait for a sale. I've been pretty happy with it. We found that one spot near Preston. I haven't played the whole route though, so please bear that in mind. I have not had time. I've literally playing what you're seeing me play right now. and the little bit that I did my tutorials on. But I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing so far. I do have some slight concerns for how consoles are going to handle it, but you can turn off the static layers, so I think that's probably going to be okay. It's just that people will have to turn them off. Oh, do I see that infamous DTG thing of power lines going into the ground here? Yes, Just Trains have done it too. Power lines randomly going into the ground. Now I hear you, Train. It's alright. We're fine. It's only a feather. Don't be afraid of it. Nigel says glucosamine and chondroitin works best for your arthritis, not drugs. How is chondroitin not a drug? Rizatriptan. Oh, that's a good one, Andy. That is actually a fairly strong painkiller, that one, I think, if it's what I think it is. AcquiCEFC, making my first trip to Diesel Gala at Keighley this weekend. Or Kylie. That'd be cool. I did my first Steam Gala last UK trip, because we don't really do galas here. Nearest we've got, I suppose, is the Steam Rail Open Day or the Meeting of the Whistles in Echuca. That's probably the nearest we have to a gala. Ian Jackson's just updated 25 DLCs on Xbox Series X. Time to see how the Class 90 is. Bob seems to be fairly happy with it on the Xbox. My limited exposure to it on PC suggested it was okay now. You can get it stuck in a condition it won't power. I found a couple of ways to do it, but I think most players probably never find them because I was deliberately trying to find things. Because, you know, testing. Lady Sophie says, Andy, I hope they manage to sort things out for you quickly. The pain goes as quickly as possible. Pain does suck. Two things suck in life. Pain and being itchy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Welcome to my world. It's great, really. Because I'm just allergic to air. We can speed up now, can't we? We should. Andy says, yes, it is, Andy. Usually issued people who suffer from long-term migraines. Ian says, I'm a PC Xbox license. Yeah, if you're a decent PC, you'll be okay. We've only seen that one spot that it was a bit ugly. Look, cars that aren't floating. Nice. No wheels coming through the bottom of the bridge. That's always a bonus. And the proper 80s cars as well. He's broken down, he has. Oh, look at that. You can't quite see it, but it's Just Trains Transport. Do you reckon that's the phone number of their business? Ooh, is that blurry? No, I don't think it's blurry, just grubby. I thought it was blurry, but I think it's actually weathering on some of the coaches. I think it's alright. Locomotive says, do I need to cancel the Class 90 fixed yet? Well, you just wear it around the other way around, mate. Wear it backwards. Nigel says, Keighley is wonderful. Is it Keighley or Kylie? Looks kind of like Keighley. Happens fairly common here. Most of us are old, it seems. Yep. Nigel says they are herbal medicines, not prescribed drugs. They're still drugs. They're just not medical drugs, but they're still drugs. I don't know if people know, but most medical drugs are actually made of the same kinds of things that herbal medicines are, but they're done differently. There are some things that are concocted, but nothing is made because we can't make elements. Well, actually, that's not true. We actually can with enough power, but they don't last long. Is that signal red? No, double yellow. All good. Oh, listen to the track joints. Gaming laptop in. It depends what it is, but you know, if it plays TSW, fine. It should be fine. Andy says VGR did a few things like the SRV and some of the private loco owners with J541 when that was steaming. Yeah, it's a bit dead now. Whatever happened with that? Did SteamRail eventually sell it? I did see it still in the shed. V450 said best way to avoid arthritis, high blood pressure, autoimmune diseases and obesity is to eat no carbohydrates. Yeah, if you go full keto, it does work. Makes you fart like a horse though. Acqui CEFC says from Sheffield originally was around these trains in the 80s. Never made the trip to KWVR. Now I live in Ireland, decided to finally go. Yeah, cool. That should be fun. And he says this medicine tastes like mint. Second one that's $10 AUD pills down the drain. And the car's a nod to one of the JT guys, says Gav. It's a JT car. I haven't seen a tunnel yet. We're nearly there. So maybe it wasn't this one. Keithley. Okay, cool. And he said, I remembered it's a spotting location. The broken down car is actually representing one of the developer's cars which broke down at the exact spot. Cool. Or did he just say it was broken down so he could sit on it and take photos? I'd do that. Pronounced Keith Lee, and another one with Keith Lee. That's like trying to learn how to pronounce Llangollen. It's like you look at it and it goes Langollen, but no, it's Llangollen. Nigel says the KWVR should be in the game. A mod is working on the SVR. It's looking good. Yeah, I've played the SVR one a couple of times now, so yes, it is developing quite nicely. And it's fun. Chain Trace Randy, it's a bit of a hard thing to explain in chat. And it's Keighley. Keith Lee. Yep. Nope, wasn't this service for the tunnel. Doesn't look like it. But you know, like I said, the worst that happens is it's another service. So that's fine. Macallan? Macaulay? Maybe? Oh no, it's yellow, it's fine. I saw the red one and thought, what the? I can go and get my Irish neighbour and she can tell me what it is. But she's probably asleep by now. She's got two very young kids, so the second they're asleep, so's she. BFC. Which football club would that be? Birmingham? Wouldn't think so. You'd get killed painting that round here, wouldn't you? Alright, it's got a shunt. It's fine. It's got a shunt signal under the red. It's all good. Heart attack averted. That was a very late drawing set of points there. FPS down to 47 or so. Down the hill we go. Locomotive says, I wasn't working last needed, but I did go to North Norfolk Mixed Traction Gala. We had a 52 and a 50. From LSL, Colas 37, your own 101 and 104 DMUs, 37, 31 and both 8s. Cool. That would have been a fun day. Blackburn or Burnley are Lancashire football clubs. Excellent. And an ambulance was on standby. Down to 30 was the lowest you saw. That's not so hot. I don't like this hill. Just caught me by surprise. I hope this is actually going where it's supposed to go, because, you know, I haven't checked. They're bouncy little buggers, aren't they? Little 08 sitting there minding its own business. Yep, going in blind, that's it. It's one of those things, you get down near the end of the track and it goes, you've got 10 yards to go because you're meant to be on the track next to it. Acquiesce EFC likes the look of the ballast. It does look pretty good. I probably could stop it here, but you know, there's a principle of this. And he says, I do not, I will never hear signalling right now. Lady says those squished tankers are a nice touch. Quiet you. So what's people's next guess for the tunnel? Is that it up there where the bridge is? So I assume it's near here somewhere, yeah? So we could just fly there on an 8 camera, couldn't we? Oh, I just realised why it's slowing down so much. I'm an idiot. 1.7%. That's pretty steep. That'll do. We don't want to foul the track. I think their stopping point's a bit too far up. Hopefully this will work. Yep. Wait for 1 minute. What else are we going to do? Stop at Arpley Old Siding 4. That's a real bridge. Where is this magic tunnel? This one? Whee! Isn't there something that runs under the station? Ooh. Can we drive in here? No, it's out of bounds. What a bummer. That looks pretty cool. Oh, I want to be able to go in there. Is this the tunnel? The one that goes under the station? We did that before. We've done that one. We've been out here. I assume it wants to go somewhere behind me. Yeah, it wants me to back up. And I'm going to have to set some points. Lots of them. all of them, all but one of them. They're waiting for the brakes to come off because I didn't go back down onto independent like I should have. The tunnel leads to Preston Station from Deepdale, if that helps. That's a weird noise. Oh, there it goes. Finally. I think I was pushing against the brakes. Lady Sophie says lots of track and awesome semaphores. So if I fast travel to Deepdale, we should be okay. Frame rate's suffering a bit here too, isn't it? 37, 34. Locomotive wants the route. Soon. Very soon. He's hoping I got this right. Or this could get messy. These wires don't have collision, which is good. Yeah, I'll be curious how it goes on console. I do actually have an Xbox key for it, but we're not allowed to run it until it's actually released publicly on the Xbox or PlayStation. I mean, I could run it for myself, but I just couldn't show it to anybody. Locomotive says, I want it now. I'm working tomorrow and Friday. Yep. It's a difficult life. There's an AI horn there somewhere, because that wasn't me. Right, so if I go continue and I go return to free roam, and just before this train goes somewhere, I'll get out. Because it's Warrington Bank. Where is Deepdale? See, I don't even know where these stations are. There's nothing out that way. It's not out that way. That one hasn't got a Warrington Central. Winwick Junction for train spotting, and there's a train there right now. Ah, well, while we're thinking about going to Deepdale, come on, let me go there. Yep, yep. Don't keep beeping at me. Don't keep beeping at me, I'm going to get mad. That's good timing, wasn't it? All right, we've seen the train now. Where's this station? What's that? Earlstown. Newtonley Willows. Parkside Colliery. There's nothing out that way. Goulburn. Doesn't look like there's any jump points out here. No, there's stuff there. There's one here. Haydock Oil Terminal. We'll do that the southern way. All. Am I even going the right way? This is a place where tracks go underneath. Springs CMD. Wigan. Should I be going the other way, probably? Let's go the other way. Walton Old Junction. This is where we were. So this is Warrington. Holy Trucker says, I always do that. Exit to free roam, train drives off. Yep. Weaver Junction. There's no train there at the moment, so we won't bother going there. Acton Bridge. There's nothing on that side. Hertford. Nothing on that side. Nothing around there. Winsford. Go north. I went the wrong way. All right, so let's go up to north to Preston. Can I walk there from Preston? Or get in a train and fly there from Preston? Or is it this way? Is it one of these? What's that? Deepdale Coal Concentration Depot. And you reckon the tunnel's back up here somewhere? Lady Sophie says Wigan famous for the Northern Counties factory that made the Volvo Paladin. Scary. Well, let's just go to Deepdale. So we just get something that runs from the coal concentration depot. Are there services from here? I'm guessing. Because if we can get in a train, we'll be able to fly. And then we can just follow the track. More blokes with eyelashes? Yep, definitely. And there's no engine on this stuff. Well, you know what has to happen now, don't you? If we're going to go and find a tunnel, if we haven't got Henry, we need to use Thomas. Oh, I might need a path there. Set it to there first. Jeez, he's quick on this route. It's like whoosh. So I just came through those points and they're set the wrong way. Does that mean that there's a train coming? Could do. Could do. Alright, move path. Confirm. Set path. Back we go to the main line. So we'll go to there. We're just being silly now. Oh, I can't play the theme song there, Lady Sophie, much as I'd like to. But no, so this is the tunnel here. So this is the haunted tunnel, eh? There are noises. I'm just going to turn that right up for me. I mean, that might be Thomas I can hear, but I don't think so. There you go. We've seen the tunnel. Now you know what a sperm feels like. Since it's so bright, we can bring Thomas through here anyway. Except I don't think you can ride on the outside of Thomas, though. There you go. You've seen your tunnel. Doesn't look very haunted to me, sadly. Oh, this is cool. Ah, it's very cool. I like that. Deepdale runs underneath Preston. Lady Sophie says, yeah, there was. I heard it. Yeah, there was a noise in there, for sure. That wasn't Thomas. What do we see over here? Is that 101s? It is. Or are they just carriages? No, they're 101s. Are they drivable? They're chugging. There's people on them. No driver, though. They're just sitting in a yard with people in them. How train sim world is that? Excellent. Alrighty, let's go back to the main menu and see what we can find. What time is it? 9:30. We're doing all right. What do people want to see? So we've seen Deepdale. We've visited one of the railfan spots just in time to see a train, which was quite convenient. This is quick. Oh, there it is. Just as I start to relax and go, yeah, okay. Crewe Preston. What do we got? What have we got? So there are 101 services. Where do they go? And they're Shap ones. Yeah, they're pretty short, aren't they? Blackpool North to Manchester Victoria. So it's just that little bit of a branch somewhere. Liverpool Lime Street to Blackpool North. That looks like it's more than 16 minutes doing that distance. I would have thought. 17 minutes. Yeah, I'll do one of these. We even leave dynamic weather on. How brave are we? Nigel says, Kilsby Tunnel on the new Trent Valley line is also haunted between Wolverton and Rugby. Excellent. Proper hauntings. We can do the oil terminal, why not? Master key. Change end. Come on, let me pull the other lever. There it is. No, it's on. That one. Okay, that works. And reverser. Does my gear lever work? Yes, it does. Does my throttle work? Yes, it does. Good. Loading, loading. So we'll run one of these cute little services and then we'll go and do the oil terminal. Off we go. I'm still looking for a railway where I can drive a 101. I know I've got a drive of the AEC rail car. That looks like it's red, doesn't it? Dump that vacuum. Oh, it's just a little bit red. Just a little bit red. There we go. Everything's done slowly in this one. I'm hoping we're changing tracks. We are. Good. 30. What's 30 between friends? Ian Bradley, the lovely 101 DMU, remember riding on them and they were very comfy. They are the main train on the Tees Valley. They are indeed. I've ridden some 101s. I've ridden a 104, I've ridden a 107 and a 108. I'd love to drive one of them. The Great Central has a drive a day thing with these, but they're all booked up when I'm there. That was a bit more of a violent break than I really wanted to do, but you know. You can change gears with the keyboard. It's I'm trying to remember what it is. Is it R and F? No? E? No, it's not E. There are keys for it, definitely. We'd have to go into the controls and have a look. There's a little light engine flying down there. I used to drive it with keyboard. Control A and Control D. There you go. Thank you, Andy. Magic. Is that yellow? That looks yellow to me. Yeah, that's yellow. Just got away with third gear on that. So we'll finish this run and then we'll find something that starts at the oil terminal. Sounds like a plan. Or something that goes there. Either way works fine for me. I never would have found that in a million years without looking it up. This is much more bouncy than the Tees Valley one. It's almost pacer bouncy, but not quite. Oh, actually, it's the Just Trains one too. I haven't turned on the headlights down the back. And I've got red lights on the front. Naughty me. Ian Bradley suggests Hopetown in Darlington. I did talk to Llangollen, and they went, sometimes they do it, but not at the moment because they're not covered. Because it'd be fun to drive one of these in real life. To be honest, I'd find this sort of experience and the AEC that I'm doing on North Yorkshire Moors, which is a full run from Pickering to Gromont. Yeah. I find that actually more interesting than driving a steam engine or a diesel because I can do those on my railway. And while they're not quite the same, these things are just totally unique. There's nothing like them in our world. So I reckon it'd just be awesome fun. Stop at Leyland, and that's it. They are a unique way of driving, yes, Andy. And Nigel said, can use the 8 camera to fly around and find collectibles. You can find them, but you can't collect them. That is something I often do. I used to use a Gronk. I often use Thomas these days. Just plonk him down somewhere and then fly around and then move him and then fly around. We roll on into Leyland, which I assume is where Leyland cars were made, maybe. Lady Sophie says the awesome 4-speed epicyclic gearbox. Yes, they're actually quite an amazing piece of engineering, the gearbox in these things. And the fact that you can literally jam the thing in first gear at 70 mile an hour and it doesn't just leap out of the train is impressive. Oops, that might have been a little bit more of a stop than I intended. But that's okay. Sorry, folks. Alright, let's destroy the vacuum. that'll be it for this run. So let's find something in the oil terminal. Is that a hearse? It's a hearse. Excellent. It's a hearse named Ben. That's their names, isn't it? Tom, Mark, Ben, Cal, another Tom. Train Sim World. That's pretty funny. No number plate on the little generator, though. Missed an opportunity there. And that'll be the end of this service anyway. Kicked out. And main menu. Well, I should have gone to timetable, shouldn't I? Not smart. Leyland buses and trucks. Excellent. We need a new screenshot here. I'm getting bored of the New Jersey Transit one. I thought I would drive it a lot, but I don't. Just, you know, this is the way it is. Crewe Preston. All right, something oily. It's probably going to be a 20 service, I imagine. Let's try one with discs because we haven't. Is there anything with oil? No, so maybe it's a 47. Unless it's just listed as a siding. Not seeing anything that looks like it's... Oh, it's the rail tour service. We should come back to that one. 1Z50. If I stay awake. So we'll come back to that. Because that should be fun. Yeah, it must be a 47, I think, because I'm not seeing anything that says oil. Oop. No, no. No, all right. Let's try 47.3, see what that does. Go grey again, because I like the grey one. And is there anything here that says oil? No. Ah, TEAs. They'd be ours, wouldn't they? They're oil. Arpley Old Side to couple up with some empty TEAs. Arpley Old Side to some... See you later, Nigel. Tanker service from Preston to Warrington. You reckon that'll do it? Ah. Only one way to find out. Let's go. And he said it's where Leyland buses and trucks are made to this day. Awesome. I didn't know Leyland was still making stuff, to be honest. Have fun, Nigel. Flying Southern is a pretty interesting choice for having a separate RVD for livery designer. What happened there? Oh, they were blurry screws for a little while. So what have we got? No, not 9, 8. Yes, we've got TEAs. Okay. All right, we'll find out where we go. Couldn't be bad, could it? I mean, it's dark, but that's okay. We have the best headlights in the world. It's a British train. Yeah, shortcut. Wait for a moment. They do a nice horn, Just Trains. It still hasn't gone. It has gone green now. Okay. We're going on to the up fast. Alright, brakes off. You know what I didn't do? This helps quite a bit. Bob's having no issues with the 90 on the Xbox X. That's excellent news. Andy lads, maybe they haven't added services to the oil terminal yet, and that's why they haven't showed in any of the streams. It's possible. But we'll see where this goes. And I can do a little bit of magic on this source just to make it a little bit brighter. Filters, color correction. There we go. I brightened it up. No, focus wasn't on the game. That's bright. What you're seeing is a brightened source. Leyland still technically exists, but as a subsidiary of DAF. They still make trucks at the Leyland factory. It could be worth a visit. They must do tours. Be kind of interesting. So we're going to Warrington Bank Quay, so that's not going to go to any kind of siding, is it? It's just going to a platform. Ah, well, it'll do. Flying Southerner said I saw a 47-8 the other day, specifically Crewe Diesel Depot. Just living in there. This train's clearly not very heavy. Not very heavy at all. Mind you, there's not much of it. You just can't see it. Just do remember that I have brightened up that scene a lot. That's not what it looks like at night. The way it looks at night is... Oops. It looks like this. If I can get my thing to work. So it looks like that. Just, actually, it's not that bad, is it? But that's better. That sounded pretty good. Must have focus on game. It's important. Ian's doing his TSW updates. Excellent. Truckers H, hello. There is a museum at Leyland, and yes, they assemble the DAF trucks there. The parts come from Holland these days. Nice. It's good that they're still building stuff there, at least, even if they're not making it. A good bit of history. Samantha, hello. You spotted a train spotter. Did you look in a mirror? Lady Sophie has a bit of a giggle, and Andy says, I'm not sure about the factory itself, but they do have a Leyland Museum you can visit. Yeah, cool. I have to plot the last 2 weeks of the trip, because I haven't. And it's starting to get the kind of close to the time that my other half... There you go, look at that, it lights up. How cool is that? And it's, yeah, look at the spelling. Excellent. Wonder if there's anything that goes in there, given it's got track. That's a non-licensed Leyland, that is. It was another Melbourne person with a YouTube. Oh, there's quite a few of them. I've tried to engage the occasional train spotter when I'm working at Puff, and some of them are quite friendly. I don't think it's a spelling issue, Aqueous CFC. I think it's a branding thing, so they don't have to license the name. So I think that's deliberate. Flying Southerner says you're still up for meeting when you're over. I am, if we can make it work. I am going to do one meet at NRM, or I'm hoping to anyway. I'm not sure if that's still possible, actually. Let me just check. That may not be possible anymore. I'll just have a look. Because I had to make some changes. No, it's still, yeah, it's still on. So NRM will be a meetup on the 11th of August in the afternoon. And I will probably do another one. Either somewhere in Wales in the last half of the month, or back in London. Because we haven't decided if we're going to spend a few days in London before we come home yet. So, may do. We'll see. Ian says the UK seems set on destroying its railway history though. Not like we have. We decimated it. We went from the state with the most railways in the country to the state with, per capita, one of the least per capita. Truckers re-H, I like the Carlisle route with the carpet wrong. Always makes me chuckle. It's just kind of funny, those things. It's both a joke and so they don't have to license. We're going too fast, but we'll ignore that. That's okay. See, look, I'll fix it. Watch, see? Go on. Fixed it. Ian said, should I risk getting the Class 90? I haven't driven it extensively. I've had about 6 or 7 minutes in it. It seems okay. Bob seemed to think it's okay. So, you know, you can always refund it. Sam says UK is one of the most friendly places on earth to its railway history. You do have a lot, but there is a lot that's lost. There's a lot that's just gone. And then there's things like, I know this looks weird, but Betton Grange, where stuff comes back. Stuff that didn't exist returns to existence. And there's people building brand new steam locos. That's just impressive for me. They're crazy, because, you know, you'll never make enough money to pay for it, but that's okay. That's fine. As we cruise to Warrington Bank Quay. Gamer Axolotl, how are you liking the route and how much this route cost in AUD? My guess would be between 60 and 65, but the price hasn't actually appeared anywhere yet unless SteamDB's got it. It's £29.95, £29.99, so normally you just multiply that by 2 and you get Australian money. Bob says, Ian Bradley, yes, it's been fixed and is working well. You're currently driving on an Xbox X. I'm glad you have moved into someone who's happy with it, Bob. That's a good thing. Steve Austin says, don't want to go to London, it's full of Londoners. Do you know, I have a pastime in London though, and that's talking to people on the tube because they're just horrified. Andy says, don't stay in London, it's a dub. Oh, we got to do things like the giant Ferris wheel and stuff. And go to the British Museum and marvel at all of the antiquities that have been stolen from around the world and never returned. Don't worry, our museum does it too. Southerner says, if you want to meet up near my neck of the woods and get something in the calendar, you're coming into Gatwick. I am. We probably won't meet anybody on the first day though, Southerner, when we fly in, because we'll probably just land and go and sleep for a while, or at least have a shower. Because we will have been flying for, or travelling at least for almost 40 hours by then, so we will not be smelling pleasant and we will not be in the most comfortable spot. Although, could have a shower at the airport because have access to the lounge. So could do that. Ian Bradley, we're playing it on a gaming laptop. Lodi Sophie says, same as Birmingham and East Midlands. I've been to Birmingham. I think I've been to part of the East Midlands too. Aqueous CEFC says, went to Poland a couple of weeks ago, took 2-hour steam train from Wolston to Poznan for about €6. Oh, nice. Very cheap. SteamDB doesn't have the price yet. Yeah, because it's not actually released yet. When it's released tomorrow, you'll be able to see it, but my guess would be 60 to 65. Ian says, don't do the London Eye unless you want an hour of boredom. And that's mainly in the queue. No, I've done the London Eye, it was alright. Andy says, only past of the Eats Midsons are a dump. Other areas like where you live are nice. See, Lady Sophie, you've just had one of those moments like I had with the girl from Swindon. That was funny. You can see a lot, can't you? Little factories and stuff. Flying Southerner recommends London Transport Museum. Have been there. Should be more than enough room for a meet-up, plus the Piccadilly line. Yeah, I've been to LTM. I'd love to go to the other LTM building, but it's not open in August. The one where they keep all the other stuff. Lady Sophie says, yes, Manfield Lots and Leicester. Sam says, they never truly stopped building the Rocket, Lion, Iron Duke, Planet, all the replicas. Festiniog building new ones. Tornado Fellas just marketed theirs as first. No, there's more coming than that. There's more mainline stuff on the way. There's 2 being built in the same factory by 2 different groups. And then there's the guy that built Betton Grange. So take another locomotive and convert it. There's another one of those was done by the Bluebell as well. They took an existing locomotive and converted it to something that doesn't exist anymore. It's a bit of a popular pastime. As we cruise through the night here with our train of Vaseline to lube up everything. Christopher Honeywell, hello to you. Don't worry about being late. There's a rewind button, mate. You can watch everything you'd like to watch. It's all good. Andy Ladd says, I live near Silverstone, so it's picturesque around here. Silverstone does look pretty when you watch a race. Come down to the Medway, best card of the UK. I will be down in the Medway, actually, because I'm going to Dovetail. So I'll be down at the docks. And I visit a few places in the Medway because I caught up with one of the other people that follows my channel there. I don't think he ever told anybody, so I won't mention his name, but caught up with another person there. We went through lots of history of the Medway and the dock areas and the railways that used to be there. It was really interesting. Ian says London Transport Museum is mainly on buses. Ah, but there's their other building that's got lots of trains in it. But you can hardly get there because they don't open it very often. Annoying people. Even I slow down when it gets to 5 over. Bob says the only things you'd want to see in London, the Real Puffing Billy and HMS Belfast. Doing okay, Christopher? Hope you are too. And there's questions about silverware. Lady Sophie says in Hunslet, Barquet of Kilnar Rock, converted to the class 155 to 153. There's quite a few locomotives that have had a bit of an adventurous lifetime. Christopher says, do you remember the song called Down by the Docks? I do. Syke says, the guy who first formulated Vaseline used to eat a spoonful a day. ChatGPT says it's an aspiration risk. Well, maybe he aspired to be a lubricant. I don't know. It's like the guy that made WD-40. He used to sniff it. I have not tried the new dispatcher node on Medway, no. I haven't had a chance. I've just been very, very occupied the last couple of weeks. So, even though I had the patch for a little while, I have not had much chance to do anything with it. Kind of wish I did, but, you know. Because part of the idea of the ambassadors getting the patch is we can make content about it, but we can also give it that last little level of testing and go, hey, this is okay, or this is really bad. And they would only stop it if we went really bad, but it's how it is. Hard to miss Belfast. Mark Moss, hello. Lady Sophie says, so if you're going to DTG, that means TSW7 on the horizon then. I go to DTG every year. I don't know that I'll be in the UK every year. It's be very hard to justify the cost because this is the 3rd year in a row. It's not cheap. Definitely not cheap. I think in the not too distant future after the UK, we're probably going to go to Vietnam because Christine's parents want to go there and it's probably the last trip they'll ever do, so we'll go there as nurses. Ian Bradley says, very annoying then, so I didn't know they had another building. Don't understand that. Yeah, they've got a big building. It's not even in London. It's outside of London. They've got quite a large collection, the London Transport Museum. There's another free wheelbarrow. It's a pretty nice sky. Does smell good, says Psych. Lady Sophie says Belfast, home of Titanic and Harland and Wolff. I did go to about as near as you can get to where Titanic left from, and I have been where it was supposed to arrive in New York. So I haven't been to where it is. But, you know, you do what you can. Lady Sophie says DTG should pay all ambassador expenses. They give us sandwiches. But you know me, I can't confirm or deny TSW7. I know nothing. I am Schultz. But, you know, we've had a new version every year, so what do you reckon's going to happen? I think it's pretty obvious, really. It'd be stupid of me to sit here and go, nah, it's not a thing. Now, if you ask me that on a DTG stream as a moderator, I'll go, nah, it's not a thing. Because, you know, as a moderator, I've got to behave a little bit differently. But as me, I don't. Not that I moderate many DTG streams at this time of year because I'm asleep. Because it's 4 AM when they start their streams for me, and I am not getting up for a DTG stream. I'll get up at 6 for them, that's fine, because I'm normally up there anyway. But I don't want to get up at 4. It's the only way to get your t-shirt, says Psych. Well, you know, in TSW3 I made my own. Andy Ladd says always a pain in the ass when real life gets in the way of playing games. Absolutely. It's like when I came back from the Salesforce thing today, I actually logged into work and did some actual work. And then I'm thinking, why am I bothering? I'm looking online. There is no one online. I'm going, okay, they've all abandoned me, so I just logged off. Sam says, as a British person, there's better places to go. Christopher's train sim guy, once I get myself a laptop and wonders of Sodor, I challenge you to a race across the main line, Knapford to Vickerstown. Yeah, we can probably manage something like that. We can probably do something like that. Maybe we get a couple more people and make it a 4-up. Lady Sophie says Skegness or Grimsby. You can't miss the Belfast. Andy says just don't do a Clarkson and ride up the Mekong River in a PBR as the locals might not like it. Yeah, probably. But I'm not Clarkson. I'm an ass, but not that big of an ass. Sam says things happened last time I went to Skegness. We don't mention Skegness. Ooh. Steve said there's a new rich person building a sub to go to the Titanic. Good way to bump off the rich. A lot of little engineering companies will get a lot of money out of that. Ian Jackson done a 90 run. Can say it's a lot better than when released. Few blurry textures popped up here and there along the route, but all in all, a better loco to drive now. That's good. Yeah, it doesn't sound like really annoying like it used to. I actually find the 86 and the 87 a bit annoying, the sound they make, but the sound's realistic. It's just annoying. It's like I would wear noise cancelling headphones if I was in one of those things. Look at me doing 50. 7 miles to go on this run, and then we'll go and try that rail tour. 1Z50. Lady Sophie says, sorry to hear that. Syke says, I remember and it was good. Ian said, I'll wait until I've got a bit more money before buying the Class 90 and then Preston Crewe. It's only a week or two to wait. It's always good to wait anyway, because you can see what other people stream and what videos people put up and things like that, and you can get a really good idea of what it's going to be and whether you're going to enjoy it or not. And you can ask people. So if someone's streaming it like I am and you want to see something, ask. I'm always happy to go and look at stuff. I know some people aren't. Some people are quite rigid because they're a bit OCD, or a bit ADHD is the other possibility too, and they're quite rigid in what they do and they get quite nucky if someone asks them, but I'm quite happy too, so. Where is this road? Oh, there it is. I can't get up to the road level. Oh, I'm under the bridge, that's why. Twit. There you go. That looks alright for a night scene. It's starting to get light, actually. 2:47 in the morning. Six miles left. Acquiesce CFC, what happens in Skeg Vegas stays in Skeg Vegas. That sounds normal. You're working everybody to join the race. Be careful with the lots of emojis, Christopher, because Nightbot will probably bite you. You dare me to make this train go faster? We've been going faster. I'll often speed a little bit, but not lots. Grant Salisbury says, hi everyone from Preston, just come across this channel, going to Google, Just Trains, not heard of it before, regards Grant. Well, there you go. Just Trains is a third-party developer for Train Sim World, which is the game we're playing, and I'm currently driving towards Warrington Bank Quay. I'm gradually making our way there, and speeding again, of course. That'll be enough. 5 miles left in this night service at 2 AM, and if we pop up into the sky, you can see the sun is starting to come up, which is pretty cool. Andy Ladd says, speaking of Clarkson, have you heard he's been diagnosed with prostate cancer? Hope recording early enough makes full recovery. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Oh, it's a terrible thing. So yeah, hopefully he does. Because while he's a knob, he's a funny knob. And he does do some good stuff. You live in Ireland, what is the sun? You should live in Australia, mate. It never goes away. Well, I shouldn't say that. Dark outside now. This time of year it goes away. 4 miles left. Where are we on the route? Yeah, we're heading down there. We're going down to the big junction down here. Sly, hello. Lady says, shocking, hope he's on the mend. Christopher said, what do you mean by the early reaction to most with lots of emotions? I run a auto moderator called Nightbot, and it doesn't like emojis very much. So it tends to whack people who do lots of emojis, and it times them out for a couple of minutes. And Acquiesce CEFC says, yeah, but we don't have things that can kill us, though. That's true. In Australia, everything can kill you. And if it can't, it wants to. It's pretty simple. 3 miles to go on this one, then we'll jump into the rail tour, and after that I'll probably knock it off because it is 10 o'clock. I've been up since 5:30 and I've got to be in the office at 8 tomorrow. Yay! Love going to the office. I really enjoy going to the office. It was a bus, just over our heads. Doesn't everybody enjoy going to their office? Probably not. We've just had it passed into law that we're allowed to work 2 days a week from home. For everybody. So no one, unless your job is situational, which means you have to be there, can be forced into going to the office 5 days a week now. Magnificent. Because I know my employer would love to. Steve, you could live in Scotland. You never know what dry weather is. I'm going to be in Scotland for a week. And even though we'll be there in summer, we are bringing jackets and things. We've gone out and got some down stuff so that it will pack up little, but be big and warm and fluffy. Lady Sophie says on the bright side, Scotland never has hosepipe bans. True. Yeah, it's cool, Christopher. I just didn't want you to get timed out, that's all. Acquiesce CFC says my office day is Tuesday and I've got next Tuesday. Very nice. Christopher doesn't even have a job. I kind of guessed that, Christopher. My guess would be you're a little bit young to have a job. Andy Ladd says the Northern England does get light fairly early this time of year. I grew up in Liverpool. It's normally full light around by 4 AM in June and July. Yeah, I noticed that when I was there actually in August in both years. It was quite bright all the time. How did I end up out there? I must have missed the Q key and hit something else. It's a very active vigilance on this one. And there's Concorde in Scotland. I've been in a Concorde. We didn't fly anywhere, but I've been in it. We had one in Melbourne at an exhibition at an air show before they got banned. Chain Tracer Andy says still asking you to take me. Well, I need to put clothes in my suitcase, not you. Do my usual thing and put about 10 days worth in. And I need room for a pair of TS controllers to come home if I manage to buy them in the July batch, because I missed out on this batch. Steve says I'm retired, so no office, just the MRS giving jobs I didn't do years ago when she asked. Ah, the missus, yes. Yes, there's always the list. But it's actually interesting in selling our old house and going over it and fixing a bunch of stuff has actually taught me that I need to be a little bit more on top of the maintenance on this house. Christopher says I'm only in my 20s, Train Simulator guy. Yes. Andy better find some space. You have your own YouTube channel. Didn't I subscribe to you? I thought I did. Let me have a look. Oop, that was a big pause, wasn't it? Oh no, I haven't. There you go. Now you've got 4 subscribers, mate. Oh, look at the smoke. Magic. AWS. If you want to run a channel, what I'd suggest is make your own content. I've got it cranked up a little bit, Andy. Let me show you what it really looks like before you come to that conclusion. So if I turn that off, see, that's what it really is. So I'll leave it like that for now. You're eating mashed baked beans and melted cheese. Okay, that's a combination. Hello, Hectic Jojo. You did miss the 20s, but we're going to do another one, so it's okay. Because I haven't quite died of sleep deprivation yet. That's enough. Wait for a moment. Why, so you can throw me out. There we go. Oh, I've been thrown out. Good. All right. Oh, I should have gone and returned to timetable. Twit. I keep doing that. It's still quite nice at night, but it is much darker than what I was showing you. Yeah, that's a color correction light. It's gamma and some color changes to make it look warmer and nicer. I wish you could do that, to be honest, in the game. That would be really cool. All right, Crewe Preston, back to the class 20. Where's it hiding? There it is. And we'll go with the rail freight grey with the head code this time. We haven't used that. And I want the rail tour. Yeah. I'm sure there was... Oh, it probably just... Yeah, there it is. What was it? 1Z50. 1Z49. That's a rail tour. Oh, we'll do that one. Why not? Why not? Oh, that's an hour, though. God, that's forever. It'd be like up. Yeah, that'd be too late. There must be... There's another one. 1Z50. That was quicker. That one. Haydock Park. Go. Weather conditions can affect your brakes. No, they can affect your braking, not your brakes. Brakes will do what they always do. Better do some setup then. Notice it always drives from this end. Engine only will do. That one on, that one off. And DSD circuit breaker on. And let's press the button. Just seems to make sense, doesn't it? I haven't had any services which drive with the long nose forwards. That would be fun, I reckon. So where are we going with this one? So we're coming out of there. We're crossing everything. Going over there. There's something in our way there. It's probably designed to be in our way, whatever it is. And then we're going all the way out there. Okay. Let's go. Let's do this. Oops, I didn't put it in forwards. I left it in engine only. There we go. Now we've got some Emperors.
How dare you?
Is that my red signal? Could be. No, it's not my red signal. I've got a shunt. We're all good. It's like the overkill train from death, this one. It's probably getting a bit uncomfortable in those cars. Let's slow down a little bit. Overkill train. Oh no! Bugger. Should have stayed in the front. Alright, we'll stay in the front this time. We'll stay in the front this time. Oh. No, no special apple juice tonight. Christopher says, also learning the basics of making content with YouTube and I do it on videos. I would make shorts if I were you. All right, let's set it up again. We shall dutifully wait for a moment. I reckon the back of this train's out of bounds. Oh, look at that. Hectic Jojo says class 20, yum, 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 yum. And Andy says, take it someone's a fan of the 20. Amps up. And we do have the shunt, but the next one's going to be red. Yes, I spattered. Now you realise my name's Train with Train Simulator Driver. Is it gonna stop? Yes! Hopefully it'll be able to sit here. There we go. Off go the little smoky monsters. Bob says, just reached Monkey Nuts, no issues at all. The 90 I noticed, bit of stuttering just outside the station from 3 miles until Monkey Nuts, but I think that's the game being the game. Pretty much. It just does. Would I love it to not do that? Yep. Do I think it's ever going to not do that? No. Got a double yellow up there this time. Hectic Jojo says fastest sped in the West. Yep. Yep. Just what I always wanted. My own sped. It's a pretty long train. Christopher says the train at the back is a Superclass 47, which is so fast. I think right now the 47s are probably asleep. And these little ones are doing all the work. Syke says, is the 20 free with a certain route? Well, it's part of the Preston Crewe route. You mean my real name, Christopher? Ah. I don't generally reveal that. I don't hide it, but I don't generally reveal it. I've had enough trouble with weird people in my life. Not saying you're weird. Rails, hello. Lady Sophie says clag factor. Andy said we've got to spat at least once per stream. This is true. I almost did it twice. And Christopher says, what is a SPAD? It is a signal passed at danger. And it's about the worst thing a train driver can do. Barking doggies? What? Where'd that come from? Huh. Somewhere around here a dog barked. There is a particular group of people, yes. Spad spills the tea. There's a cool thing that I haven't shown you. Is that signal? It's yellow. It's fine. So let's hop over here for a moment. Boop. Just watch the hot plate. It gets hot. I want to get the impression my brakes are going on because I've had a silent DSD. Bastard. Hopefully that'll release. Yep, it's gonna. A silent vigilance. Once the brakes recharge in the train, which may take just a little while. There we go. Yeah, they're just idling down the back. They're not even trying. Of course, you'd only do that on a rail tour to be able to do that. It's a bit like the other trick they often do on rail tours. See the independent brake? You put a bit of brakes on. So it has to work even harder. That's a very popular pastime on rail tours. Health and safety nightmare, and Hectic Jojo goes, wait, your name isn't Mr. Train Simulator Driver? Well, you never know. Christopher says, when you'll be on Sodor again? Oh, at some point. Sodor will pop in and out of the schedule every now and again. Health and safety nightmare. You join the stream in a few minutes, going upstairs to bed to watch this to sleep. Fair enough, Train Chaser Andy. I'll be going to bed pretty soon myself. It's 10:30 here, near enough. Syke says, saw what you said about the hot plate and the black tea drinking. My question is, isn't tea a diuretic? Not as much as coffee, but yes it is, but not as much as coffee. Christopher says Train Simulator Guy is just the name of his channel. It isn't his real name. Well, you never know. I just realised we're going uphill. Need to go faster. More grunt. More grunt. So I better stay in the cab because we have had a yellow signal. So the next one is probably red. See if we can see it yet. Is it red? Yep, it's red. Don't you wish you could zoom your eyes like that? Oh, says the cow. $13.30 says Lady Sofa. Sophie. Lady Sofa. That's well done, isn't it? Still red. Yellow. No, the other end. Smoky goodness. No, I don't live in the USA, mate. I live in Australia. Australia, mate. Syke says likes tea and coffee for different things. Coffee in the morning is wake-up juice. Yes, it is. It makes your heart start. One day it'll make my heart have a heart attack, but that's okay. Because the day I can't drink coffee, I'll be very sad. Andy says, does the accent not give away where he lives? Should. Hectic Jojo says, wait, Australia is a real place? It is, Hectic Jojo. Gippsland, however, is not. Gippsland is the home of Auntie Jack. And Nick Cave, for that matter. You should have known that because of my accent, says Christopher. Yes, mate. Andy says no energy drinks like Monster or Red Bull will give you a heart attack. Yes, they will, very much. They are decidedly evil. Syke says, mine too. Do you have high blood pressure? Yep, pretty much. Haven't started treatment yet, but doc's making me keep a diary. 188 over 122. Yeah, that's pretty much what I had before I went on the pills. but I've been on the pills for about 2 years now, and it helps a lot. When I, see, it's bad enough that I keep one of these little things nearby. This is going to speed up when it goes down the hill here. The little blood pressure monitor thing. And it used to be, before I went on the pills, it would go in its little Chinese voice, "Help! Seek immediate medical attention!" I think it's like a cross between Half-Life and a Chinese girl. And these days, it just goes, "Ah, you have mild hypertension." It's like, okay. Hectic Jojo says, "Come on, the valley isn't that bad." Ah, there's a reason a mate of mine lives in Churchill, mate. It's up high. Christopher has family in Australia. Did you, deport them for stealing? Psych says, "Good to hear. It's supposed to say they live in an upside world." Yes, I was on the diary for a long time there, Psych, and going in and doing readings every month. The other issue, if you've got high blood pressure, you probably also have cholesterol, so get that checked too. Christopher didn't deport his family. Oh, it's kind of surprised our government haven't. Bridge shut. Kinda. I guess we're going up there where the chimney is. And we're going there too fast. But don't let that worry anybody. It's not like a heritage railway or anything. There's a little platform up here. One needs a preview. I wonder what was here that needed a thing. What's the factory? Haydock Park Racecourse. That's what needed a station. Is it ever used, I wonder? Hectic says he must have taken the Obi-Wan School of Tactics, taken the high ground. Ah, yes, very much. He does like looking down on the valley. It's sad these days, because ever since the old big power station closed down, it's not full of orange smoke anymore. Christopher says, "Did you know massive spiders live in Australia?" Not that big. That's not massive. That's fine. And he said, "Ironically, I have high cholesterol, but my blood pressure is perfectly normal, so figure that one out. I'm a medical mystery." Who knows? My cholesterol's always been relatively good, but it was high enough that I do have a pill for it. It feels like we're going uphill, but the game tells me we're not. But the very fact that the roofs are going over a crest like that would suggest to me that the train was in fact going uphill. But that's okay. Look at these rail tour people pretending this is exciting. Another little station. Complete with a siding. Nifty. Psych says, "Will do. Doc did say something about it before, but is going to do fresh blood work." You'll have to do that periodically anyway. Make sure the drugs are doing good things for you, not bad things, because sometimes they do bad things. Hornby Man says, my internet was down, but I am back. Welcome back, Hornby Man. Sucks when your internet disappears, doesn't it? He said, welcome back. More Peak Forest carriages. Can we actually get into this place? Oh yeah, it's real. And there's a point lever. If these points weren't set, I could just back the train in there. Andy says, I feel so out of place being a younger guy. Well, there's two of you. Christopher clearly is too. But, you know, he's like 7. Christopher said, did you know that Australia is a place where most other countries send their criminals? No, I don't think so. Not anymore. It was true once, but it was only one country. One particular one. Syke says, I got into railroads online after you suggested it during the Railroader stream. What's your favourite steam engine in it? Did I suggest railroads online? I suggested Railroader, I would have thought. The C25s are the most versatile one. I guess this track's going to end soon, since we're going into a head shunt. Andy says, my cholesterol was ridiculously high, so with my pill and my wife also on the recommendation of the doc changed my diet to boring food. Only allowed the good stuff once a week now if I'm lucky. Oh, it's sad. Is this your oil terminal? Looks kind of like an oil terminal. With all of its little filling pipes and things. There you go. We accidentally went to the oil terminal. Maybe we should back this thing in there. Hobby Man says, I hate it when a rail tour comes past but a bunch gets in the way and you can't see it. Yeah. Or you're filming something on the next track, you get spark blocked by an electric train. Syke says, young at heart. Rails says, France, randomly. Sly says, are there any signs I can look at for indicating a station coming up? Yes, they turn up here and they're blue. I think we might back this into the oil terminal and return to free roam. What do you reckon? Sounds like a good idea. Syke says for console because Railroader isn't on console yet. Ah, yes, that would help. I think it wants me to take it all the way to the end of there, you know? 200 yards away, that's, yeah, okay. And you got home and away in return. And Kylie. We gave you guys Kylie. And he said, unfortunately, Syke, I don't get a choice. Mrs. watches my diet like a hawk. That's a good thing, mate. You'll survive. What's your favourite train of all time, Train Simulator guy? Of all time? Would have to be the ones I fire, dude. I spend more time in them than anything else. You may not know I'm an actual fireman of real trains. And from time to time, when the driver lets me into his office, I get to drive. Lady Sophie says, yeah, and Alf, longest calf member in Home and Away. And of course, you got Neighbours as well. Don't forget Neighbours. And I think the Australian TV series The Box was put on English TV for a little while. It really wants me to go all the way to the bloody buffers, doesn't it? Better hope these brakes work. Or we're going to go bonk into the end of it. Cell Block H, I think, was called Prisoner when it was here. It was a different show. Return to free roam. I assume this track used to go further. At some point. Alright, can we get this from here into the terminal? Looks like it. We should probably take it into one of the longer roads, I think. Look at that one. You hate it when people get in the way, Hornby Man. I'd put them on YouTube and make fun of them. When I was leaving the conference today, I came home by train and I met one of those weird things, a female train spotter. They exist. Bob says Australia also gave us Hugh Jackman. Isn't he from New Zealand? And Farlap the horse. Syke says, didn't you pass the driver exam? No, it was my own firing re-exam. Oh, it's a water bridge. Okay, that makes sense. Do you think we can connect up the locomotives to the pipes and fuel them? I've seen G in person. I wouldn't describe it as met her. It's gonna go bonk. Yep, bonked it. I would not describe it as met her because I didn't, but I've seen her. She was off filming on a platform. I just left her alone. It's like you don't need some random old hairy bloke coming up to you going, hi, I follow your channel. Because, you know, there's not much more creepier thing to say than that. Well, there you go. It fits. How about that? And I'm guessing that this is definitely the oil depot, judging by the size of that. And there's probably no services because they'd be about 30 seconds long to go up there and then they go back that way. But I think that's probably where we will leave it for tonight. I think we need to make some clag. So if we gentle back onto that buffer and fang this thing, which they should do after the brake pressure releases. Eventually. There we go. They can just sit there making smoke, pushing on a buffer. Because that's the kind of thing you do in rail tours. There you go. Doesn't that just look good? That's a mean thing to do to them though, I suppose. But anyway, I think we'll end the stream there because it is just about 11 p.m. here, so I'm going to go to bed because I've got an early one tomorrow. And we shall see you next time. I hope you've enjoyed Just Trains, Crewe, Preston route, and that let me know what you think. I tried to make it a bit of a different stream because I think everybody will do the electrics. So I thought, let's do some diesel stuff. Besides, I like diesel stuff more. Anyway, have fun, and we shall see you later. Sykes says, female train spotter, lock it down. Yes, and G Loves Trades is awesome. He's very good. Anyway, enjoy yourselves, and I might stream Friday, I might not. Might go to VGR, don't know, we'll see. I'm a bit lazy, might just stream. We'll do something anyway. Alright, have fun. Bye. Thank you all for coming in. I do appreciate all of your comments and chatter, and for all the people just lurking as well. Perfectly fine thing to do. Bye now.